Fred Swift of Richmond won the toss and elected to kick towards the punt road end. There's umpire Shields in charge of his first grand final. The bounce of the ball and immediately pack developing right in the centre. Umpire Shields right on the spot to watch developments. Gives a free kick here to Ryan. The first kick of the match to Ryan. Ryan with the ball right in the centre. No doubt looking for Wade. There the ball is coming up towards Wade. Flying from behind though was Patterson to bring down the mark. This is going to be an important role for Patterson today, I think. Trying to outmark Wade all the time. There's a kick coming towards the centre. Farmer goes high, knocks the ball down. It's knocked into the open spaces by Richmond. Out comes Walker. Walker fumbling a little bit. Ganane's in the thick of it there. Marshall comes in to help him. Ball comes clear of the pack. In comes Pontinelli trying to pick up the ball. Obviously players a little bit nervy, a little bit edgy, and there's Clay picking up the ball, driving it down to Hart. West goes for it with him. West couldn't quite mark it. Rosenau comes in to help him. West getting hold of the ball, emerges from the pack, gets a hand pass towards Ainsworth. Ball won't come up for him. It does now, though. Still he can't quite control it and takes it over the line to be thrown in. A buzz of excitement right round this ground. This 1967 League Grand Final between Geelong and Richmond. A huge crowd, more than 100,000. As the ball into play, grabbed there by Ryan, and he puts his boot to it and sends it again over the line to be thrown in half forward left. Richmond are in the attack. The big question is, can Richmond win their first premiership for 24 years? And can Geelong come from third to create football history and win the title? Whistle goes here from umpire Shields, and the free kick is going to Brown. Brown, the Richmond second rover, to take the free. He'll be about 45 yards out. Angle about 45 degrees. Nice kick up towards the goal. Knocked away here from Hart. There's Goggin chipping in, breaking away with the ball. Puts it onto his boot. Francis Burke sets himself for the mark. Couldn't quite hold it. Gives Newland the chance. Newland whips a hand pass here to Cluster on the move. Cluster drives the ball down to centre half forward. Comes up here towards Mitchell. Goes right over his head. There's Perry racing to the ball for Richmond. Knocks it out towards Swift. Swift comes through. He's held. Got in possession of the ball, and the Richmond skipper and fullback will take the free kick.
Swift to clear the lines, drives straight up the centre of the ground looking for Richardson, who gave him the lead. Polinelli arrives late and punches the ball away. A chance for Clay. Picks the ball up, puts it onto his right boot, sends it out wide towards the half-forward flank. Geelong leading in the race to the ball through Marshall, has the ball covered, gets the ball onto his boot eventually, close to the line. A short pass to Polinelli, and he holds the mark just inside the line.
Marshall appeared to move quite freely.
Polinelli's kicking towards the centre half forward area, taken by Andrews. A quick hand pass over his head in the direction of Goggin. Goggin a chance, but coming across the pack was Bartlett to win the ball for the Tigers and send it out wide towards the flank. They race for it out there. Newland and Burke going towards the ball. Coming in to help is Cluster for Geelong. Burke leading in the race to the ball, but he runs past it, trips Newland up. Newland is tackled by Northey, gets a kick, follows on towards the ball once again. And Geelong through good hand passing. Get the ball to Farman, coming right down from the flank. Farman fires the ball up towards the scoring area. Wade setting himself, flies. Ball tapped down to Perry. Runs straight into trouble. Gets clear, however. The ball coming away towards Bergen. He runs past the ball. Now a chance for Sharrock. Under pressure. Ryan is there too. Wade in it for Geelong. Umpire Shields letting a play go as Bergen gets away with the ball eventually for Richmond. Sends it out wide towards the flank. Two Richmond players fly. Now a chance for Bergen once again. Strang picks up the ball. Hand passes away towards Clay. The Tigers underway again as they drive towards centre half forward. Ganane in front, over his head. Down towards the ground once again. Breaking up the attack, Barry Richardson. He's caught. Umpire Shields blows the whistle and penalises him for holding the ball.
3 minutes into the first quarter.
Bill Ryan it is to take this kick for Geelong. Sends it back towards the centre of the ground, but Richmond in front on this occasion through Barrett. Rather Bartlett, and he holds the mark in front of Goggin. Drives the Tigers forward once again. Nobody at home, but the bounce is awkward. Coming out is West with a long punch. Puts Farmer in possession. A long hand pass by Farmer. Gives the ball to Newland. Newland plenty of time to steady and drive it out wide towards the flank. But there's Richmond trying to break up the attack once again. Going in is Mitchell. He's bumped solidly. Bergen comes in too. Mitchell gets his hand to the ball, but it's picked up by Bergen. Bergen a hand pass away towards Perry, backing him up nicely. Perry puts his foot into the ball. Sends it out wide once again. Geelong in command. This is Rosenau breaking up the attack. Sends forward and Cluster holds the mark just wide of the centre.
My word, Billy Barrett is giving Cluster a lot of latitude. playing very wide of him. There's the kick now by Closter up towards Wade. Goes over his head. Here's Andrews moving to the ball. Right in front of the goal. He's going to be put under pressure. A little bit slow. Shepherding off there was Hines. The whistle goes and we'll wait and see what's going to happen. A free, I think, to Geelong.
It'll go to Hines. I think he was met solidly in the back by Fred Swift. And a very obvious free kick and a courageous one at this stage awarded by Peter Shields.
4 minutes into the first quarter and Geelong have the chance to post the first score as Hines comes in, shoots at goal. It's a pretty good one. We'll wait on it just a little bit offline. And there's the first score of the match to Geelong. Of course, the burning question was probably whether Richmond would jump Geelong. Geelong have been notoriously slow beginners this year, but they've started off well so far. Here's the kick in by Swift. A nice one, looking for Patterson there. Ball knocked away, grabbed here by Andrews. Puts it onto his boot. It's coming onto Geelong's right half forward line. Not clear. Chance here for Polinelli. He breaks a tackle, comes clear with the ball, drives it forward. A chance here for Newland, I think it is. And he takes the mark. Newland with the ball for Geelong at centre half forward. Oh, here's a pass going in short, and it's marked by Sharrock. He was the match winner for Geelong last week against Carlton in a brilliant three-quarter time burst. He posted 3 goals in about 7 minutes and kicked another one for the quarter. And here's John Sharrock. In the last game, recovered during the week with a chance to post Geelong's first goal. He's not far out, 25 yards out. Angle 45 degrees. The kick on its way, and it looks good to me. It's there, a goal, 2 cuts. They move on to 1-1-7 after about 6 minutes of play, and here's Doug Bigelow.
It's a confident start by Geelong, and it would appear at this stage that Geelong have settled down a little better than Richmond. Richmond have fumbled a few marks, whereas Geelong, on the other hand, have marked well. Their teamwork excellent, and their foot passing to one another a little superior to Richmond at this stage. A long way to go, though.
Umpire Shields walks in to bounce the ball once again. And there's the bounce. Tapped down, picked up quickly, and shot forward for Geelong by Hines. Sent out wide, a chance for the Tigers as Dean breaks up the attack, however. He sends back towards centre half forward. Ganane in front, but can't read the bounce of the ball. Picked up again by Hines. Sends the Cats out wide once more towards Sharrock. Sharrock up and marks on his chest, and then is slung to the ground, and it could be a 15-yard penalty.
It will be. And rightly so. It looks like Geelong's half-back flanker Strang is going to put all the pressure he possibly can on Sharrock, who is suspect with an injury.
Sharrock, left foot kick, spiralling in towards the 10-yard square. Wade's behind on this occasion, tries to mark, can't do so. Ball on the ground, kicked over his head, could be touched through by...
Ryan it was, Dick, who had the shot, I think.
Scouting the facts, Geelong at this stage too, and look very sure and very meticulous with every movement they make.
Swift kicking in once again. There's his drop kick straight up the centre of the ground, looking for Perry on this occasion. Oh, great mark by Farmer. Up between the 2 Richmond players and pulled down a lovely mark. Farmer, a delightful kick. Wade not leading for him. Now he leads, and Farmer sees the lead, kicks it out wide where Wade gave him the lead, and he holds.
Beautiful pass by Farmer, one that full forwards drew out. And no doubt the Wade had in marking that particular pass.
Is Richmond is looking a little bit on edge at the moment.
Wade certainly put under pressure. 5 yards out, kick for goal on its way. It misses. It's a point to Geelong. Geelong doing all the attacking so far. Geelong now 1. Richmond yet to score. 8 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Richmond defence looking a little bit nervous and tentative. There's Swift's kick into play. Oh, magnificent. Covers a lot of ground. Newland flew high for the ball. Closter waiting down, picks it up, puts his boot into the ball. It's coming up here towards Ryan. Flies high, but the ball is picked up by Swift. Away goes Richmond, clearing the ball away onto the far side of the ground. Farman comes out there with Northey, closely checking that player. Pack developing here, and the weight going in. Umpire Shields right on the spot is going to call for the ball and bounce it. It's midfield on the outer side of the ground. There the ruck's going to it. Patterson getting the tapper, comes clear, picked up by Farmer, whips a hand pass back to Closter. Closter drives the ball forward, bringing the ball up towards Ryan and Sharrock. Sharrock takes the mark, but there was interference from Richmond, and the free kick, I think, will go to Bergen or
Jewell, I think.
Perhaps Jewell. Yes, Jewell it is, who will take the free kick. He's the back pocket player for Richmond at the moment. Left footer. There's his kick on its way. A wobbly old punt kick up towards Bull Richmond. It's not clear though. Picked up here by Barrett. Barrett put under pressure by Cluster. Ball comes out to Northey. It went about 8 yards. No, certainly not 10, but the mark is allowed to John Northey. Northey with the ball now for Richmond, almost in the centre of the ground. Nice long kick, looking for Hart here. Hart goes to the ball, punched away beautifully by West. The ball coming out to Hines. Hines puts the ball onto his left boot. It's not a good kick, comes towards Cluster. He's going to run into trouble. Chance here for Francis Burke. He's in trouble too. Oh, the weight going in there. And away go Richmond through Patterson. Drive the ball to Hart. It's punched away again by the Geelong defence. Out to Mitchell. Mitchell quickly onto the left boot. Sends the ball up the Cluster. In come Richmond though. Chance here for them to break through. They do so. Get the ball down to the full forward position. Geelong defence now under pressure as Hart comes to the ball here. He's bundled out of the way. Oh, they're going in hard. There's Walker with the ball. Gets a hand pass forward. It comes to Ganane. Ganane's hand pass comes to Ronaldson, the big fellow for Richmond. He's going to be in trouble. Gets out of it by hand passing to Northey. The whistle's gone in the meantime, and it's a free to Ronaldson. A push from the back.
The back, that's the third free kick that's gone to either side so far in this game for glaring pushes in the back.
Ronaldson, who comes into the Richmond side today, right on the line with a difficult shot at goal. There it is, lining it up. Oh, right across the goal. It goes, and the mark is taken by Hart. Yes, it's Royce Hart, the champion Richmond full forward, former Tasmanian, this boy. Has been a star in attack all year for Richmond, lining it up from about 12 yards out. Shouldn't miss. And he comes on its way and through. A goal to Richmond. And there's the Tigers' first goal on the board. Will it, in fact, be one of the goals that they will score today to take them on to their first premiership for 24 years? Doug Bigelow.
Well, it's quite apparent that Hart was very quick to seize that opportunity. He saw that a lot of his teammates were a little bit uncertain about their movements, but received a missed kick and nicely popped it through. Play.
Bounce of the ball in the centre once again. Tapped down by Mitchell. Whipped further forward by Geelong to get the ball to Sharrock. Sharrock a pass to Wade. Slips it in beautifully.
Gee, there's not much doubt about this Sharrock, is there? Right? That was a magnificent pass.
Wade is about 35 yards out and straight in front, having his second kick at goal. Moves in, kick on its way, straight through the centre. Number 93 for the season, and Geelong's second goal on the board.
It's the second deliberate shot that Doug Wade's had, and he could quite easily have had 2 goals up because those passes he received, the first one from Farmer, wasn't a particularly hard shot. That one from Sharrock, delightful football, and a glaring example of just how much confidence the Geelong side have in Doug Wade. He's a champion and right at the top of the league goal-kicking list, and rightly earned that honour.
Notice already a message has come out to Strang on the half-back flank to watch his man Sharrock a little more closely.
Back now in the centre. The Rucks go for it with Patterson getting the tap here. Comes down towards Barrett, but Cluster nips in front of him. Cluster's got the run of it here. Having trouble picking it up. Eventually whips a hand pass to Goggin. Goggin looking for Wade. Out he comes from behind. Making a second grab. Not allowed. He breaks away. Shoots at goal. He hooks it around. Can't get it around far enough though, and it's out of play. Oh, that was a near thing. Wade just couldn't swing round onto the right boot sufficiently to hook that around. The mark was a near thing too, because he came from behind certainly. He made the second grab, got it, but umpire Shields said play on. There's Patterson knocking the ball clear. Grabbed here by Dean. Dean's kick smothered there by Goggin, and it goes out of play. Doug Wade, 93 goals for the season. Needs only 4 to equal Coleman's 97 in 1953. That's the tallest number of goals scored by a full forward. It goes back to then. Here's a chance now for Goggin, nipping in. Lines up the goals, but he's away off line with the shot, and it goes out just near the right-hand behind post. We've had roughly about 13 minutes of play in the first quarter. Geelong starting very much better than they have in this final series so far. In fact, one of the best starts they've made for the season. 2-3, 15 points. Richmond 1 goal straight. The last time Richmond played Geelong, they kicked about 9 goals in the first quarter. Ball into play, the whistle goes, and it must be a free kick here, I think. Yes, the free is to Patterson. And they call him Doug the Swamp Fox.
Yes, hits and runs, but still that type of plays certainly left Patterson. He's been a very valuable player for this season.
One of the most improved players in the league, this fellow. There's his kick. Oh, it's a shocking one. Grubbed along the ground. Strang goes for it there. Couldn't handle the ball cleanly. Dean also fumbles badly. Richmond are not handling a ball at all cleanly.
Very uncertain.
Ball into play again. Farmer coming from behind there with Mitchell for the tap, but it's grabbed here by Bull Richardson. Tries to crash his way through, unable to do so, but Bartlett grabs the ball there, drives it up to Ganane. The ball's knocked away from him. In chips Polinelli. He looks jet propelled, this fellow, as he gets hold of the ball, sends it to Andrews. Andrews couldn't handle it cleanly. Francis Burke comes in. There he is now, booting the ball forward for Richmond. Down it comes, and magnificent one-handed mark by Marshall, and my word, he was given a lot of treatment too as he took that ball.
The second time he's been given treatment today. He gets at this fellow, and I think it could possibly be the way he plays the game. He's fearless, goes in hard, and a player of this type.
And there's a bit of a melee developing just forward of the play, more towards the centre. Punches have been thrown. Umpire Shields right on the spot. However, tempers have quietened down a little bit as Marshall comes in to take his kick. There's the kick too by Marshall, a nice one, bringing the ball well forward. Patterson flew, in chips Goggin. Goggin's going to line up the goal, it's wide open, and he popped it through.
Champagne football, glorious and perfect anticipation by Goggin. Then he raced through the side of the pack, at the side of the pack, picked the ball up and made no mistake. And what confidence in shooting for goal. A drop kick on the run. And this is typical of the Geelong style of play. And of course, we look for it from Richmond also. The score now, Richmond are 1 goal straight, Geelong 3-3.
And we're 15 minutes into the first quarter.
Good football there by Doug Wade, too, as he led up the ground, bringing Swift with him to open the goals and give Goggin the maximum area to shoot at. Now a big pat down by Mitchell, but the whistle's blown in the ruck. Farmer, being shepherded in ruck, gets the free kick from the centre bounce. Ollie Farmer looking for leads. Wade undecided, now leads out to the right, and Farmer kicks out that way, but it'll be a Geelong mark. Andrews.
Seems to be a lot of understanding amongst those Geelong forwards early in the game.
Andrews coming in, awkward looking kick, but it covers a lot of distance. Wade sets himself from behind, is now in front, runs towards the ball, taken by Bull Richardson, however, who's been prominent early, drives the ball out wide. A Geelong mark, almost claimed out there again by Andrews, but off his hands and out of bounds.
Geelong holding sway in the air so far, 10 marks, 2-4.
Bit of jostling after the ball went out of bounds too, but it soon broke up. Patterson up high, taps the ball down. Chance for Bartlett. Barrett coming through, takes the ball away from him. Nicely screened by the umpire, goes round onto his right boot, sends it out wide towards Northey. Northey outpointed by Farman on that occasion. The ball hustled across the line off the player's boots. A lot of weight being used indiscriminately at times already in this first quarter. Up high is Farmer, taps the ball down. Bartlett going in, gets pushed in the back by Farmer and must get the free kick.
Geelong's pace very noticeable at this stage too. As Ken said, they've settled down quite early this week and looking a very good side.
Could it be that Richmond are suffering from grand final nerves? Bartlett's kick, a shocker, straight out of bounds.
I'd like to answer that one, and it would appear at this stage that they are a little bit, Dick.
Boundary throw in. Richmond in the attack, just forward of the centre. Outer side. In the ruck again, Farmer tapping the ball down. Handball from Richardson to Barrett. Barrett a long driving drop kick to the 10-yard square, but, well, it wasn't to the 10-yard square, it was out of bounds, but in the attacking direction. And Richmond in the attack again, one of the rare times that they've been forward.
And where did it stem from? The beautiful hand pass of Richardson. I think that's his first handball today.
And boundary throw in. Richardson in ruck once again. Ball hits the ground, picked up by Geelong and shot away by Rosenau. Out wide towards Polinelli, picks it up. No, can't. And then coming through was Walker to miss the run of the ball. Picked up by Bartlett now for left foot kick in short. Smothered. Kick off the ground by Hines, sends it into the centre of the ground. And now Geelong are away once again. Closter sends it out wide. Here's a chance as Richmond run through. Dean coming through, gets stripped by Sharrock, gets the free kick and then asked to play on. Drives the ball deep into Richmond's attacking area. It's all Geelong as they fly for the ball. Down towards Ainsworth. He and West misunderstand each other. West coming through strongly, gets grabbed when not in possession. Plays allowed to go on. Farman now tackled. Rosenau tackled and drops the ball. Whistle blows.
Free kick going to Richmond, it looks. And there's a good decision by umpire Shields.
Somewhat courageous one, Doug.
Yes, well, that's a word that we so very often use. But good umpiring, Ken, I'd say, more than courage, and correct umpiring.
Alan Richardson kicks for goal. Close, but it's there.
Richmond's second on the board, the kick by Alan Richardson. They're 2 goals straight now, trailing Geelong 2 or 3 goals 3. And we've had in the first quarter
roughly 18 and a half minutes of play.
Back now with umpire Shields. Peter Shields umpiring his first Victorian League Grand Final. Rucks go high. Pretty negative tap there. The whistle is gone, and it's going to be a free here to Barrett. Barrett to take the free for Richmond right in the centre. He's been a great player for them in the final so far. There's his kick. Oh, it's a nice one, bringing the ball well forward. There's Northey chipping in, picking up the ball, driving it down towards the goal. Plenty of Geelong players there. Ryan comes to the ball. It's knocked away from him. Ainsworth also moves in. He overruns it. Out comes Ryan with the ball, drives it towards the centre, and once again it's Barrett. Barrett who takes the mark. Umpire Shields is pointing to the spot where cluster is to go as Barrett comes back. There's a good kick too. It's a magnificent one. Waiting behind, plenty of Geelong players there. Ainsworth comes in, breaks away from the pack, puts the ball onto his boot. It's smothered by Hart and it goes out of play. Or rather Ronaldson it was there who smothered the ball. It'll be thrown in about 25 yards around from the right-hand behind post. Richmond in the attack. Ronaldson in the ruck now. There's the tap going to Farmer though. Chance here for Billy Brown. He's in a lot of trouble, caught with the ball. What's going to be the decision? A free kick round the shoulder. Free kick to Brown. Within kicking range too. He'd be about 40 yards out. The angle fairly acute. However, he's normally a very good kick, the Richmond Rover. Let's see what he can do with this one. And it's through. It's a goal to Richmond. They're third on the ball. Board Richmond 3 goals straight. Geelong are 3-3. Only 3 points the difference. Richmond so far have had 10 free kicks to Geelong's 4. Back with umpire Shields. It's got the crowd, a huge crowd, right on its toes. The centre there, the tap goes to Mitchell. Doesn't go to a Geelong player. Chance for Perry. Perry comes in. His kick is smothered slightly. Grabbed here by Clay. Clay a hand pass to Barry Richardson. He's caught with the ball. Held onto him, says umpire Shields. Geelong player on the ground there is Newland. Umpire Shields will bounce the ball. Geelong supporters not particularly happy about it. Rucks go to it here with the tap going to Patterson. Comes down to Clay, who crashes his way through, gets the ball to Barrett. Barrett is brushed aside though by Goggin. Goggin puts the boot onto the ball. It comes to centre half forward. There's Sharrock moving in. He's bumped clear of it. Players going in hard as Geelong kick the ball off the ground. Coming out here where Jewell beats Ryan in the race for the ball. His kick is wide out onto the outer side of the ground. Northey way down from the half-forward flank. Overruns the ball, backed up by Bergen. Bergen whips a hand pass there to Jewell. Jewell drives the ball forward. Out come the Geelong defenders to clear it away and send the ball out of play. West it was who came through there with plenty of purpose and plenty of dash. 3 points the difference. Geelong 3-3 to Richmond, 3 goals straight after about 22 minutes of play.
Boundary throw in, tap down to Farman, but the whistle blows and it's a Geelong free kick going to Mitchell, Chris Mitchell. It's on the half-back line for Geelong, outer side of the ground, and will drive the Cats forward once again. Goes around the flank this time, a little bit of interference there, not noticed by the umpire. Dashing his way out of trouble is Bergen now, who send the Tigers forward once again. Sends it up from where it came, punched away there from Ronaldson, ball on the ground, taken by Mitchell, to send it back again, but it's a short kick, and it comes in short to Burke, beautifully sidesteps an opponent. Short left foot pass into Barrett, danger here, as Barrett kicks the ball high in the air. Ainsworth there at home. The mark.
As Bill Brown crashes against the behind post.
Now let's see what the goal umpire is going to do. Roy West and Royce Hart. Ainsworth to take the kick. As the kick sends it out wide towards the boundary line, they fly for it, and it's off the hands of players and out of bounds. So maybe that'll settle the players down just a little.
Well, there's been no big pardon so far in the match.
Patterson in ruck now against Mitchell. The ball tapped down towards Northey. He's under pressure. Mitchell slung away from the ball. Is in there. Goggin being held when not in possession. Umpire Shields sees it, and it's Goggin's free kick. This is his 7th kick.
He had about, 30 odd, didn't he, last week in the
something like
preliminary
that,
final? Oh, a magnificent player.
Fantastic. There's Billy Goggins' kick. Drives it forward, out wide towards the flank. Oh, beautiful one-handed mark by Bergen of Richmond.
Looking a little bit better now, Richmond, particularly their half-back flankers. They seem to have settled down and their teamwork starting to come good.
Bergen, a beautiful drop kick in towards the half-forward area. Ganane's in front. Walker tries to outmark him. The ball hits the ground. Chance now for Farmer. Beautifully grabbed and slung by his opponent Ganane. Picked up by Rosenau, and he shoots the ball out wide. Ganane going in very strongly and determinedly.
He looked as if he could have been penalised then too, because I thought he overdid the tackling and particularly the sling. Lucky to get out of it, Patrick.
Boundary throw in. Flying up high, Patterson 1 mile in the air. Beautiful play by Richardson. Taps it over towards Northey. Tries to control the ball with one hand. And a bumping duel finds the ball going out of bounds for another boundary throw in, close to the Richmond attacking zone.
The clash between Farman and Northey will be one of the highlights today.
Tap down in the ruck. Eventually going towards Goggin, but it's picked up by Ryan. Sends it forward. Barrett in front. Ball punched away by Closter. Barrett's mark.
Barrett not roaming far and wide at the moment. He's content to stop at home a little better than he did earlier.
And this is his 7th kick. It could be close. It's gone through for a point to the Tigers. That's their first minor score on the board. They are now 3 goals 1, and Geelong are 3 goals 3. 2 points the difference.
As Doug Bigelow said a moment ago, Barrett was playing very wide of the centre, but I think the message has gone out. He's got to stay at home more because Closter was doing damage, and there's Closter marking. Closter with the ball. Richardson on the mark. 15-yard penalty being applied here by umpire Shields. Closter, normally good disposals, not a bad kick, looking for Sharrock. The ball is knocked away by Strang, close to the boundary line, in fact beats Sharrock over. The throw in between the centre line and Geelong's right half forward position. The Rucks go for it. There's Patterson getting the tap. It comes down to Dean. Dean held, not in possession, must get the free kick. Immediately goes on with play. No one was on the mark. A good driving kick, a penetrating kick, swinging Richmond into attack, and a nice mark taken here by Barry Richardson. Richardson with the ball for Richmond. He'll put it well down towards the goal if he elects to do so. He does, and it's on its way. It's coming right into the goal square. They fly high. The ball not clear. There's Hart moving to the ball with Farman. Farman grabs it here. He's smothered. Kicked off the ground by Geelong. In come Richmond. Whip a hand pass to Billy Brown. Left foot snap is offline. A point only. Well, that was quick thinking by Brown. The ball came to him. He had it onto the boot in a flash, and through it went for behind to the Tigers. They move on to 3-2 now, making the difference only 1 point. Roy West putting the ball into play. A delightful drop kick. There's the ball knocked clear by Patterson, getting the ride on a player there. In comes Barrett, bumped solidly by Farmer. Moving in here is Clay. I think he's been switched on the wing. I think he opened up on the outer wing, but at the moment he's come on to Polinelli, and he's on the grandstand wing. Ball into play. There's Patterson knocking the ball forward again. Ainsworth comes out, dives on the ball. Hand passes, whipped to Bartlett. Bartlett lines up the goal and puts it through, and Richmond hit the play. There's Bartlett, the Richmond Rover, posting their 4th goal. And the Tigers hit the front for the first time after about 27 minutes of play in the first quarter. Doug Bigelow.
Very noticeable, the Richmond Rovers are spelling in the forward pocket. Goggin is spelling in the forward pocket, but he's stationed very nearly down on the wing, taking Roger Dean right away from the play. It looks like Geelong have got a lot of faith in Wade today to do the job.
Patterson up high, taps the ball down from ruck, but it's picked up by Polinelli. Polinelli shoots the pass out wide to his flanker out there in Eels. Very quiet early in the game. Eels sends it in towards the forward area. Big fellas crash for the ball. Perry coming through is brought down by Little Goggin. Ball on the ground now. A chance for Richmond. Caught high. Players allowed to go on. Whistle blows now, and umpire Shields will ball it up. Bounce of the ball. Perry it was who got high. Ryan with the ball, tries to get his boot to it. Wade's in there now, tries to break clear, gets caught. Could be a ball up.
No, he's going to give a free kick, I think, against Wade for holding the ball.
Wade's had his number taken. So's Bergen, I think.
What a fantastic first quarter it is. Two players' numbers have been taken. And what tension in the game. And I don't think this is going to settle anybody down either.
There's Dean. Roger Dean with the ball, passing it out to Strang. A nicely directed pass, too. And Sharrock moved into Strang after he'd marked the ball, and umpire Shields is not going to have any of this funny business. He said, I'm in charge of this game, and he's going to apply the 15-yard penalty. A very good decision, because this might quieten them down a bit. There's the kick coming forward. Mitchell in front, flies high, couldn't hold the ball. It's grabbed, though, by Mitchell. He's got a lot of pace for a big fellow. Puts his boot to it. It's close to the boundary line. In fact, over to be thrown in midfield on the member stand side. Well, I don't think Geelong want to be lured into this sort of football, because they're at their best when they're playing the skillful game. And the free kick here to Mitchell, interfered with by Patterson, and Mitchell will take the free. Coming in for his 5th kick so far. He's one of the star recruits of the season, this chap. No two ways about that. And there's his drop punt kick, a nice one on its way. Plenty of Richmond players there. Ronaldson flew high, couldn't mark it. Goggin emerges with the ball, whips a hand pass to Sharrock. He dummies around, has the ball just inside the boundary line. There's Swift waiting for it as he boots the ball forward. Nice save by Freddie Swift in the last line of defence. Has got a lead here from Francis Burke. He's all set to mark it and does so. Whips a hand pass forward. Out it comes, where it's gathered in by Brown. Brown's kick towards the centre. Plenty of Geelong players there. Hand pass goes to Northey. Northey caught with the ball. Is going to be penalised. And a big roar from the Geelong supporters as the free kick goes to Geelong. The ball coming up here towards Hines. In comes Paul Richardson, nipping in nicely. Takes one bounce. Drives the ball right up to full forward. There's Hart setting himself for it. Knocked away by West. And it goes through for a behind to Richmond. Oh, a lot of pace on now, and this game is pretty rugged early. Richmond move on to 4-3, 27 points to Geelong 3-3, 21. One clear goal, the difference, almost full time in this first quarter.
Roy West kicks in, drop kick again, and a good one. Over behind the pack, a push in the back to Mitchell against Ronaldson on this occasion, and the ball went right past their hands. Now it's Mitchell, half-back flank, grandstand side of the ground, sees the short pass, the lead given out wide, puts his man under pressure, however, and it's Hines who recovers, goes round onto his left boot, gets a kick back towards the centre half-forward area. All Richmond there as they fly for it, and it comes to ground without being marked. Picked up by Closter. He's taken away from the ball. Barrett's in there, goes in hard, dongs somebody. Now there's a chance for Perry, pushed in the back, gets the free kick.
Used a lot of courage in trying to get clear too, Perry, I thought, on that occasion.
Perry's kick got under it just a little bit, but the land close to centre half forward. Ganane is there, outmarked by Walker. Ball on the ground. Farmer whips the hand pass out, smothered by players. Gets it to Newland, takes one bounce. Newland sends the ball forward, but it's a high kick. Sharrock under pressure from Strang on this occasion. The Richmond fellow punches it away. Polinelli in front. No chance to use his pace or cleverness as the boundary line loomed up and eventually beat him. The boundary throw in. Ronaldson in ruck now for the Tigers as the siren sounds for quarter time with the scores on the board. Richmond leading in the grand final 4-3-27 to Geelong 3-3-21. There's the bounce of the ball to start the second quarter with the Tigers leading. Up high is Patterson, kicks the ball down. Now a chance for them to go forward once again. Barrett goes in, clashes with an opponent and comes out with the ball. Barrett a long drop kick right towards the 10-yard square. Ganane at full forward has the ball taken away from him across the boundary line and out of bounds.
Yes, it's Hart to full forward, Ganane to full forward.
This is the move that Richmond made earlier this season against Carlton. Had results too.
Farmer in ruck. The ball comes back over the back of the pack to Richardson. He is caught unmercifully, but could have been caught high, and he'll get the free kick. The tackle was around the neck, says umpire Shields. Richardson already one goal for Richmond, and he's about 30 yards out, slight angle. Comes in, kicks for goal, on its way, hit the post.
And Geelong say that justice could have been done.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Doug. I think it was a very fortunate free kick indeed.
Yes, it was so, Ken. Technical.
West kicking in, going straight up the centre, looking for Farmer. Farmer late arriving on the scene, punched away by Barrett. A chance now for Closter as he comes through. Whistle blows, Closter being held, not in possession, gets the free kick. Now there's Closter's kick, sends it out wide towards Sharrock, who led to the ball, out wide on the flank, not able to pull the ball in. Richmond a chance to come away there. Who's being held? Umpire Shields sees it. It's Strang, I think. Strang with the free. Send the Tigers forward once again. Oh, beautiful kick too to centre half forward. It's all Geelong though, as Ryan up high pulls in the big steadying mark for the Cats. just wide of centre half-back. Awkward looking kick, covers a fair deal of distance. Geelong in front through Closter. Under pressure from Ganane. He gets the free kick and the mark, or both. Now Closter to send forward once again. Kicks in the centre between Bow and Closter, now even at 8-all. Kick marked by Eales. Good under pressure from his opponent, Bergen. But he'll take this kick to send the Cats forward once again. Looks for the lead from Wade. Wade told him to kick it where he wanted it. Wade flies!
Mitchell's mark, I think.
Yes, well nominated, Ken. Mitchell, with his 6'4.5", came from the back and was awarded the mark. Well within scoring range. He'd only be about 20 yards out on a fairly acute angle.
Lines them up. Kick on its way. Shocker out of bounds. Golden opportunity wasted for Geelong.
Mitchell,
very unhappy looking Mitchell. Look at him.
Yes, they're the ones that in games like this you cannot afford to miss.
Boundary throw in. Patterson up high, taps the ball down. Dean has a second tap, picked up by Sharrock. Shot at goal on its way, right across the face once again, and out of bounds. How un-Sharrock-like.
Yes, the angle suited him.
Tapped down by Patterson this time, picked up by somebody with nowhere to run. Eales, grabbed high.
A neck wrench, I think. Should get the free kick.
Should get a 15-yard penalty, too, for what went on after it.
There's Eales. Now he has a chance to register something with Geelong's third deliberate shot at goal within about 45 seconds. Kick on its way. It's a good one. It's a goal. Makes the difference only 1 point, with Richmond 4-4-28 and Geelong 4-3-27, and they've been playing about 3 minutes in the second quarter.
Just looking around this crowd, it's a massive one. Whether it's a record or not since the reservation system was introduced, I don't know, but my word, it's close to it. We need a crowd of something like 108,000 for the record. Back on the centre now, the Rucks go for it, with Patterson doing a lot of strong work there, getting the ball, driving it forward, and there's Hart marking. All Hart on the move, gets a hand pass nicely to Barrett. Barrett lines up the goal. He's offline with a shot, though. A raking drop kick, but puts it through for the behind only. That was quick thinking by Richmond. Good football, good direct football, too. That takes the Tigers on to 4-5. Geelong a 4-3, and we're about 3.5 minutes into the second quarter. West putting the ball into play. A nice drop kick, looking for Farmer. The ball is punched away from him, though. There's Goggin moving into it. Got tremendous. Sends a hand pass forward to no one in particular. There's Walker moving to the ball, under pressure from Hart. Hart crashed his way through. There he is, grabbing the ball again. He's a terrifically manoeuvrable fellow, this chap. Drives it right up to Ganane, but oh, there's a magnificent mark taken by West, and oh, he's dumped unmercifully after marking the ball.
My word, he backs his judgment, this fellow, doesn't he? Mark goes for the spoil. There's his clearing kick.
Yeah, looking for Farmer here. The ball eludes him. Down comes Clay, gets the ball across, picked up there by Hart. Hart drives it to full forward, knocked away here by Ganane, snapped up by Brown. He has a shot, puts it through, I think. It's a goal. That's his second. There's Billy Brown. He's an opportunist, this fellow. Read the game beautifully there, and it was cleverly played by Ganane. He saw Brown moving into the open, knocked the ball to him, and Brown did the rest.
Well, it looks like he might do it today, too, because the last home-and-home game against Geelong, playing for Richmond, Brown kicked 5 goals. A dangerous player, and he could also be today.
Bounce of the ball once again. This time it's Mitchell who's up high and gets the tap down, taken by Andrews, whose kick is smothered. Follows on nicely, however, but loses the run of the ball. Brown going in for Richmond. Manhandle is his opponent, and it's the Geelong player, Hines, who's going to get the free kick. Umpire Shields putting the 15-yard penalty once again. He's standing no funny business whatsoever. Hines, who's a very good kick for a little fellow, comes in, drop kick on its way. Gone under it just a little bit, but puts it up to where Swift flies in front of Wade, who punches the ball down. Picked up and shot by Goggin for a point to Geelong. 5-5 the Tigers, 35 points, and the Cats 4-4-28. Richmond in front by 7.
It would appear at this stage that the Geelong little fellows are scouting the packs far better than their counterparts in the Richmond side. Goggin then, as usual, very dangerous and had this big show.
Oh, there's a magnificent kick in by Swift, but the mark was taken by Farmer. with beautiful judgment. What a wonderful player this fellow is. He's the architect of most of Geelong's moves. He's a wonderful captain and inspiration. He's played about 306 games in league football. There it is, coming to full forward, the mark, taken by Wade. Wade it is. Can he put 94 on the board?
You see the opposition he had then on that occasion. 4 Richmond defenders and took it in very nonchalant manner, did Wade. Beautifully judged.
Very strong is Doug Wade. Let's watch the kick on its way. Goal umpires moved. Whether it was through or not, I don't know. Behind them. And it's not often Doug Wade misses shots like that. And Geelong are having the opportunities. They really are in this quarter, but they're frittering them away a little bit up forward. They've had 3 deliberate shots at goal. For twice out of bounds and to behind. Now Fred Swift again to put the ball into play. One of the best kicks in the league. A lovely drop kick again, almost the centre of the ground. Patterson flies high. Farmer knocks the ball away. Grab here by Sharrock. Sharrock gets it across where it's picked up by Hines. He's in trouble. Gets a hand pass all through the ball, and the free will go to Richmond. Away they go into attack, but the ball's going to be brought back here and will be taken midfield on the outer side of the ground. Billy Brown to take the kick for Richmond. Moves around the man on the mark, drives the ball to centre half forward. Bit of jostling going on there, the ball not clear. Grabbed here by Hines, puts his boot into the ball, grabs it a little bit. Shark cleverly knocks it forward. Here's the speedster, moving to it, drives up towards the goal. Swift is there though, and takes the mark. Had the drop on Wade then. He moved in front of him. The kick was in a little bit too short for Wade. He was going to come from behind. The clearing kick by Swift, another one, takes the pressure off the Richmond defence. Through they come through Strang. He's floored heavily. Umpire Shields says my ball, and he's going to bounce it.
Half-back flank for Richmond, outer side of the ground, and a lot of interference in the ruck, but Farmer taps it brilliantly over his head. A chance for Goggin, get caught, but gets a kick away. Swift in front again, and Wade dumps him.
It didn't take Swift very long to wake up to the full forward Wade, playing him from the front, and that's the way that a good defender should play. A class player like Wade, from the front.
Beautiful kick by Swift, covering a lot of distance out wide towards the flank where Patterson pulls in the ball, tries to go in, can't do so. Picked up by Closter to send it back once again. Swift in front, Wade flies from behind, can't mark. Down the ground, picked up by Sharrock. What's the decision?
A free kick to Wade, I think. Is it?
Must have been manhandled after he went for the ball, but it's Wade getting the free. Yes, Ken, and a chance for Wade.
In fact, Dick, that really penalised Geelong because they had loose men in the goal square when they were going forward.
Sharrock was going goalwards also, but he let one go too and could have had a free kick against him.
Drop kick for goal, across the face of the pack and touched out of bounds.
Now that's the 3rd time Geelong have put the ball out of play with deliberate shots at goal in this quarter.
Boundary throw in again. Patterson flies high. A lot of ruck work. Taken by Bergen. Oh, that was a quick hand pass on the side of the umpire. Picked up by Burke. He's collared. Players allowed to go on as it comes out to Alan Richardson. Drives forward. Richmond in front through Barrett, and Barrett holds the mark. Barrett drives back towards the centre of the ground. Hart's in front. Walker flies from behind. Spoils. Picked up by Farmer. Farmer's kick is a grubber, but he was pushed as he kicked. Taken now by Hines. Hines drives forward for the Cats. Where's Wade? Flying. Can't mark. Taken by Swift down on the ground. Holding the ball. Or was it held to him?
Holding the ball. It should have been, but umpire Shields is going to bounce it. No, he's not.
He nominated correctly first time, Ken.
I can't read him, I tell you.
Sharrock it is. Taking the free.
A straight kick here and the scores will be level.
Sharrock has one, 25 yards out, puts it on its way. It's there, it's a goal. And that's his second.
Oh, I was going to say, Dick, this has got this massive crowd right on its toes. If it's going to continue in this vein, until the close of the game, I tell you, there'll be a few of them looking for ambulance men, I think.
Not only the spectators, Ken.
A magnificent game so far, very little in it. And there's the scoreboard showing the 2 teams level after about 10 minutes of play in the second quarter. They're Richmond getting the tap away. In comes Northey, chipping in beautifully. Oh, he's really dealt with solidly there as he came through. Gets up very slowly. Little wonder. He took a lot then. He's a game little player, though. has the ball centre half forward. The kick on its way. It's a nice one too. Covers plenty of ground. Mark very nearly taken by Geelong. It's going to be allowed.
He was right behind the pack too, but for mine, he had a mortgage on it, even though he was behind. It was a strong mark and typical of Geelong. Strength all the way.
Shot on its way, and he missed it. Well, I don't know, Doug. This could be grand final nerves or something. Some of these players, reputedly very accurate in their shooting for goal, are right off the target so far in the match.
This is one of the weaknesses in Paddy Geelong's play, apparently. He suffers from a lot of nerves, but still he can overcome this. There's a lot at stake.
Roy West kicks in, and it's a beautiful kick towards Farmer. Farmer helped out, seen by umpire Shields, and it's Farmer's free.
A lot of manhandling going on. A lot of free kicks being given away by players on both sides.
Farmer just wide of centre half back now. Looking for leads further afield. He chooses to kick out wide towards the flank where Polinelli's in front of Clay. The ball hits the ground. Chance now for the big fella going in, Mitchell. Scoops the ball forward, but it's across the line and out of bounds. We haven't seen much of Ronaldson in ruck for Richmond. Patterson doing most of the ruck work, and he's opposed to Mitchell on this occasion. Pushes Mitchell out, not unobtrusively. Ball gathered in by Barrett. Left foot kick towards the forward flank. Geelong in front. Ainsworth, I think, has held the mark. Ainsworth coming right out from the pocket. Kicks the ball back over the mark, and he'll go back and have another kick. But he'll be 15 yards further upfield.
More like 20 from this observation point.
Ainsworth to take this kick again. He could put the ball well into the centre, which he does, given the lead by Closter. Burke coming from behind, punches the ball down and spoils. Picked up now by Hart on the run. Gets onto his left boot and sends it high in the air. Ganane backing on towards West. Rosenau flying. Ball's on the ground. Chance for West. Scoops it up, puts his boot straight into the ball, and then it goes out of bounds.
Wasn't good play by Geelong's defence. I did think on that occasion, because two of them went for the ball, and while the Richmond players stood down, could have been costly.
Boundary throw in. Now it's Ronaldson in ruck against Farmer. Ball grabbed by Bartlett. Snapshot at goal on its way. Offline, and a point only. Richmond moving to 5-7-37 and Geelong 5-5-35. 2 points the difference now in the second quarter, and 14 minutes of play have gone by.
Roy West, there is the Geelong fullback. Well, this kick out not quite so good. Falls a little bit short, but there's Farmer moving in to take the mark. He's had a few kicks so far, around about 8 or 10. Hand pass comes out here to Marshall. What's going to happen? Apparently, umpire Shields was talking to Richardson, saying that he was over the mark, and it's going back to Farmer. Well, that's penalising Geelong, if anything, but there's the pass again going out to Marshall. Marshall drives the ball forward, a nice clearing kick, taking it from defence into attack. It's not clear here, grabbed by Patterson. Patterson whips a hand pass out to Strang. Strang puts it onto the boot. Nice pass coming out here towards Bergen, I think it was. His kick is down towards centre half forward. The ball's knocked away here by Northey, hits the ground. Geelong under pressure here as Hart presses his way through. His kick is smothered there by Roy West, playing magnificently in the last line of defence. There's his kick and turn marked by Richardson. Richardson goes on with play, drives the ball right up to Ganane. Ganane sets himself, goes over his head and through for a behind to Richmond. Richmond moving on now to 5-8. The Tigers 5-8 and Geelong 5-5. 3 points the difference, and we are halfway through the second quarter.
And West to kick in again, a little undecided, but electing to kick out now to the grandstand flank where Farmer gave him the lead. It's not a good kick. Burke in front, can't mark even at the second attempt. Barrett runs through the pack, misses. Picked up now by Goggin. One bounce, two. And lets this beautiful pass go to Ryan, who tumbles over after taking it. Ryan quickly plays on. Kicks the ball up high. Wade in good position now. Misses the mark after he was bumped. Dean is in there. Over the top of Wade comes Dean. Or could be in the back.
I think he might ball it up. Or is he? No, it's a free kick, is it?
No, he's going to ball it up. I haven't picked him yet, but we'll wait and see.
Umpire Shields spoke very harshly to Wade there as Wade threw the ball in and contacted him. Now here's Dean. He's pushed in the back. That'll be a free.
And 15 yards into the bargain.
Douglas Wade not having the best of days so far.
No, he's had a problem like this throughout his football career, Ken. And will want to settle down because this is penalising the side and it's very upsetting all around.
Dean a short pass, and the mark accepted further afield by Strang. Strang round onto his right boot to send the Tigers in towards the centre of the ground. Punch the ball onto the ground. Hart picks it up beautifully, whips the hand pass to Barrett. Barrett streaming downfield, 3 bounces. Picks at the ball, a good 60 yards. Almost marked by West, but taken by Rosenau. Sends it back. Almost a one-handed mark. Oh, there was a funny old hand pass. Newland in possession. Drives it out wide for Andrews, and he holds the mark.
Geelong a shade lucky to get away with that because the hand pass earlier was an extremely doubtful one.
The luck of the game.
Andrews' kick into towards the 10-yard square. Wade waiting behind. Ball hits the ground. Richmond have the chance. Hand pass out wide favours Hines. Hines gets round, screws with the right boot, but it's all the Tigers and it's Jules' mark.
Hines should have hand passed to Sharrock there. Sharrock was all on his own. There's the kick now coming out to Strang, but it wasn't over the man on the mark. Umpire Shields goes back to talk to Jewell. Jewell going straight down the ground with this kick. Not a bad one either. Chance here for Barry Richardson. Marks all on his own. Geelong showed a lot of misunderstanding there between one another. There's the kick by Richardson. A beautiful pass to Barrett. Barrett starting to get on top of Gloucester, I think. They've had a great duel so far, but Barrett the better of the two in this quarter so far. There's his kick. Oh, it's a nice one to Ganane. He flies, punched away by West. The ball hand passed here to Ronaldson, and he puts it through. A goal. Quick thinking by the big fellow. And there he is, posting a goal brought into the Richmond side today to replace Neville Crowe, and John Ronaldson posting the Tigers' 6th goal. And Richmond move on to 6-8. Geelong are 5-5, and we're 19 minutes into the second quarter.
It'll do Ronaldson a lot of good, that too, because it's quite obvious he's going to spend a lot of time in that forward pocket, and if he's up there, he's got to do something. Kick goals is the caper, and he did that nicely.
Bounce of the ball once again, very congested in the centre. Coming in is Eales. He's met solidly and in turn meets an opponent. Burke coming through for Richmond, held when not in possession. Plays allowed to go on as the ball's picked up by Hines. A short kick lands the ball with Newland. The hand pass goes to Hines, who followed on. Hines drives the ball forward once again, but it's all Richmond, and the mark this time is Roger Deans. He plays on quickly, close to the boundary line towards Brown, but he holds the mark a good 2 or 3 yards inside the line. Now Brown looking for leads further afield, can't find any. Trouble with the streamer. All the ruckmen gathering on the grandstand side, looking for Patterson, who has the front position. Ryan goes in, spoils, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Geelong's attack is not functioning as well as it did earlier. The Richmond defence are playing it a lot tighter.
Farmer over the back, whips the chance over towards Ryan, but Barry Richardson seems to have a roving commission, gets the ball, whips it forward. Walker, beaten by the bounce, hand pass, gets the ball to Barrett. Running riot, Barrett's kick is spoiled, taken by Farman now. Farman steadies and sends Geelong forward, but the kick is a bad one. Coming across is Mike Perry for Richmond. He wins the ball and sends the Tigers deep into attack towards Northey. Drops the mark, push in the back.
Umpire sees it, or will it be a throw-in?
Boundary throw-in. Farmer in ruck, waits down this time, and the ball is picked up by Walker, stops, hand passes to Farmer, hand passes in turn towards Hines, who fumbles. Under pressure now, Hines trying to gather the ball in, or is it? Yes, it is Hines. He is slung unmercifully, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. Ronaldson in ruck now. Farmer waits, taps the ball down, straight into the arms of Barry Richardson. A quick kick on its way up towards the 10-yard square. Ganane setting himself, West behind. Ganane!
Strength. Absolute strength. Used his great hips to outmaneuver West on that occasion and took a clever marker, did big Patrick Ganane. Right in the 10-yard square.
Marshall in the hands of the Geelong trainers. It's all right, though.
It's there for a goal. Ganane's first and Richmond's 7th.
Now I think that Marshall has been swung into the centre.
This could be, it's well, not a belated move, because Gloucester did start off quite well, but it's quite obvious to everybody and sundry that Barrett has quickly got on top. 7-8 now, Richmond, going away from Geelong, who are 5 goals 5.
Newland has gone to the half-back flank. Gloucester to the far wing.
Back with umpire Shields. There's Polly Farmer, number 5, with hands on hips. Richmond's strength starting to tell a little bit now. There's Mitchell getting a tap, comes down to Farmer. He fumbles, unusual for him. Free kick goes here to Richmond. Francis Burke to take it. He immediately swings the Tigers forward onto their right half forward line. Rosenau knocks the ball away. Through comes Ryan, kicks the ball off the ground. In comes Burke again. He's going to be in trouble. Oh, eludes the tackle beautifully. Sends a hand pass forward to Brown. Richmond looking good as Brown drives towards the goal, but he's offline with a shot. Oh, this is good football now by Richmond. I'm getting the impression just at the moment that physically stronger, and this is playing a big part. There's the kick in by West. A good one, covers a lot of ground, but the mark taken by Big Patterson. Patterson will swing Richmond well into attack again. A good drop kick, brings the ball up to Ganane. He sets himself for it, grabs the ball, is caught, drops it, will be penalised, and the free kick will go to Geelong.
Remonstrating very strongly with umpire Shields, as he had indicated that he was grabbed a little high.
The free to Mitchell, and the pass comes out here to West. West pops the ball across here, coming out towards Newlands. He didn't move to it with any confidence at all. Gets his boot to it, though. Sends it forward. There's Polinelli claiming the mark. There's the dasher going forward with the ball. A screaming pass comes out here towards Sharrock. Sharrock dummies around his opponent beautifully. He's going to have a long shot at goal. It's on its way. It's a point only. Once again, Geelong off the target. Haven't kicked well in this quarter. They put it out of play about 3 or 4 times from deliberate shots. They move on to 5-6. Richmond are 7-9, and we're about 23 minutes into the second quarter. Swift straight down the ground with this kick, a long, low drop kick, which Farmer marks. Farmer's going to pass it in short to Sharrock. It's too high for him, though. And out comes Jewell to mark the ball. No understanding up forward there, Geelong. And there's Polinelli now chipping in again to mark for Geelong on the far wing. That's the outer wing position. Comes round onto the left boot, looking for someone further afield. Burke had a chance to mark, couldn't hold the ball, but Richmond come through with plenty of dash. Bergen grabbing the ball, gets it out here to Northey. It bounces badly for him, comes towards Farman. He knocks the ball forward. It comes to Marshall. Marshall crashes his way past a couple of opponents, kicks the ball right into the centre, dead centre, where Farmer takes the mark, whips a hand pass to Walker. Walker's got Polinelli all on his own. Polinelli goes back, lines up the goal from a long way out. It's short of the goal. Wade flies and a magnificent mark taken by Doug Wade. Can he put 94 goals on the board for the season? 12 yards out, straight in front. No mistake this time. Through it goes. A goal for Geelong. A badly needed one, too, for the Cats, as Richmond was starting to slip away. That's Wade's second goal, and Geelong move on to 6-6, 42 points, to Richmond 7-9, 51.
That's the type of mark then we saw taken by Wade that brings a grand final crowd to its feet. He judged it beautifully. I'd say got a slight sit on Swift, got high and took it lovely and made no mistake. Electrifying football by Wade that was. And I feel sure that if he cools himself down, he can produce a jolly sight more.
Bounce of the ball in the centre once again. They fly for it. Patterson wins the tap down. Marshall trying to win the ball there. Not successful. Ball hits the ground. Whistle blows. Free kick going Goggins' way. Goggin, the recipient of quite a deal of attention, is about to take his 12th kick. Wrong foots his opponent and then drives towards centre half forward. They fly for it. Perry's got the mark for Richmond. Mike Perry, big strong fellow. And a beautiful kick too towards the centre of the ground once again. Hart's behind, punches the ball away, then follows on quickly with great pace, looking for somebody to kick it to. Kicks it out wide towards the flank. Streaming away there, Newland and his opponent Barry Richardson, two of a kind. It's Newland who wins the ball, stops, gets caught, hand passes, a chance for Hart. Coming through with Sharrock. It's Hart who wins the ball, puts it onto his right boot and kicks it forward. Richardson has the ball punched away across the line by Walker. Good football by the Geelong centre half back. Boundary throw in. Centre wing outer side. Patterson in ruck, taps the ball down, comes back towards it again, held by one arm and dumped, but gets his kick away towards Hart. Marshall punches the ball down. On the ground it is. Picked up now by Burke of Richmond. No that he wears long sleeves even on hot days, and sends it out wide towards Barry Richardson. But the line is too close and it's out of bounds, half forward left for the Tigers. 25 minutes of play. Richmond 7-9-51, Geelong 6-6-42. Another boundary throw in. The rucks gather. Patterson ruck with Mitchell. Taps it down. Picked up quickly by Newland. Eludes Richardson. Picked up now by Bartlett. A quick kick, a left footer, in towards the pocket area. Ainsworth. Takes his kick back towards the centre of the ground. Bumping and jostling. Ball on the ground. Hines punches it away into the arms of Richardson. Back in the air. Good football. Gets it to Bartlett. Whistle blows. Free kick to the Tigers. And the goal umpire gets the ball.
Thought that penalised the side somewhat, in my opinion, because Richmond were going goalwards, and the free kick going Richmond's way.
To Dean, and what's he doing way up there in the centre from the back pocket?
He's probably chasing his race.
I think he is. I think Goggins got him down there.
Another Neil Crompton job. Now, here's Dean taking this kick to drive it right to the towards the opposed or the 10-yard area. A mark has been allowed to Royce Hart, and he grabbed it very nicely despite the ministrations of Peter Walker. Now Hart has a chance to put his second goal on the board. He's only about 30 yards out, almost straight in front. Drop punt on its way. It's there.
And the 8th goal on the board. Second goal kicked by Royce Hart, and Richmond now move along to 8 goals 9. Leading Geelong 6 goals 6.
And we're getting towards the close of the second quarter. We've had about 27 and a half minutes, Jack? Yep, 27 and a half, almost 28 minutes in the second quarter. In the ruck, Farmer still there for Geelong. Patterson. Mitchell it is who knocks the ball forward. It comes there to Andrews. He's smothered. Mitchell picks the ball up again, gets it to Goggin. Goggin has it taken away from him, though, brilliantly there by Bartlett. Bartlett dashing downfield with the ball. He's got tremendous pace. Drives it up to Ganane, who flies. He gets right under it this time. But chipping in is Richardson into an open goal and pops it through. Oh, that was a lucky break for Richmond, but bad defence, I should say, by Geelong, because they left the goal wide open, and Richmond's 9th goal goes on the board. They move on to 9-9. Geelong are 6-6, and the Richmond supporters are probably asking themselves at the moment, well, are we in a position to go on and win our first premiership for 24 years?
They certainly look as if they are at the moment, because their play, particularly late into the second quarter, looks really good. I thought Geelong's defenders then did pay a little bit too much attention to Ganane, who certainly looms as a danger to any side. But my word, there are 17 other Richmond fellows in the side, as Barry Richardson indicated. He was one of them and made no mistake on that occasion.
Umpire Shields bounces the ball. Mitchell gets the tap again for Geelong. It comes forward to Eels. Grabbed here by Goggin. Goggin is going to look for Wade here. Puts the ball high into the air. It's too short for him, though. Chance here for Richmond. Dean to knock the ball clear. He does so. The defence looking pretty good at the moment. Geelong persisting, though. Patterson's got the ball here. Puts it onto his boot. Drives it down to Hart, who sets himself for it. Couldn't hold the mark. It's grabbed by Newland. He puts the ball in a negative way right across the ground. Not much advantage to Geelong, but there's the racehorse, Polinelli, moving to the ball. Came from out of space almost to grab that ball. He's got tremendous pace. He looks jet propelled to me.
Goes quickly.
Boundary throw in. Patterson in ruck. Taps the ball down. Whistle blows. Free kick against the big Richmond fellow. Farmer to take it. Into the centre. Marshall. Fumbles. Under pressure. Recovers. Scoops it on. Now under pressure again. Beaten for pace on this occasion.
Mitchell it is.
In towards the forward pocket. West misses the bounce of the ball. Backed up now by Walker. Runs into trouble and hand passes out of bounds. Was that Mitchell coming across there?
Yes,
It looked like Dennis Marshall.
And there's Northey in the hands of the Richmond trainers. He's got a nasty knock.
He clashed heavily with Mitchell there as he came across. Now Hart fighting his way through the pack. Steadies. Puts a left foot shot at goal on its way. Ganane and West wrestling. It's bounced.
I think it hit the base of the post, didn't it?
I don't think so, Ken. Just
Went at right angles as it bounced, and I thought it might have made contact with it on the half volley. But as you say, Doug, it may have been just to the right of it.
9-10 Richmond, 6-6 Geelong, as Roy West puts the ball back into play.
Northey slowly recovering. Mitchell behind, can't mark, but a chance for Geelong now. Well shepherded. Closter gets the ball, drives towards centre half forward, but Perry has the sit. And it's Perry's mark. Play on, says the umpire. Jewell backing up. Hand passes. Skids in. Loses the ball. Picked up now by Ryan. Oh, and Barrett's donged somebody 10 yards behind the play. Going in is Closter. He's stripped and gets the free kick. Barrett being spoken to by a boundary umpire. Now Closter takes the kick. Flying high Perry, but it's a one-handed mark to Sharrock. Vaughan Sharrock wanted to go on with him too. It was Roger Dean.
And there was Marshall moving into position all on his own, but Sharrock didn't see him, and now Marshall's been covered a little bit further afield.
Sharrock, a drop kick and a bad one, giving Wade no chance, but the misunderstanding by the backs could let Geelong in here as Goggin scouts the pack, steadies, lines them up, shot on its way as the siren sounds, and it's there for a goal right on half-time.
Well, what a sensational end to the second quarter, with Goggin just putting his boot onto that ball just a fraction before the siren to score his second goal, and Geelong's seventh.
The start of the third quarter with Richmond 9-10-64 and wearing the white pants against Geelong, who are 7-6-48. And straight from the opening tap, Richmond go forward, but it's picked up by Marshall of Geelong, who gets his left foot to the ball and sends it out wide to the flank, where the mark is held by Eales. Colin Eales of Geelong sees the lead given in short. The mark not accepted by Andrews. It goes to ground. Bartlett, number 29, figures in the fight for the ball, but it's picked up now by Goggin. Goggin sends the ball forward. It bounces awkwardly, but it's picked up now by Jewell, who runs straight into Ryan, and the ball goes out of bounds. Richmond 9-10-64, leading Geelong 7-6-48. Boundary throw in. The ball tapped down and kicked off the ground by Closter. Picked up by Jewell now of Richmond. Sends it back into the centre of the ground where Polinelli holds the mark for Geelong. Polinelli, a Stawell Gift finalist and winner of the Bendigo 2000. Sends the ball towards the forward line. Wade flies. Behind is Ryan. Chance there for the Geelong fellows to get in. Sharrock spoons the ball forward, gives it to Goggin. Goggin shoots for goal, puts it through, and that's his third.
The brilliant Billy Goggin. That's his 14th kick of the match so far. Last week he was a match winner for Geelong against Carlton, and here he is again today playing a very fine game for the Cats.
Well, he's given Bartlett 6 years, Goggin. He's 26. And just broke away from Bartlett on that occasion, showed pace, kicked his third goal, and what an amazing player he is.
Those comments from Doug Bigelow. Now Ken Dakin.
Bounce of the ball in the centre. And tries to grab it there, but Bill Richardson's there to back him up, puts his boot to the ball. It's coming out onto the wing. Polinelli racing to the ball, backed up here by Newlands coming downfield. Newlands gets in a kick, sends the ball forward. It's in a little bit short here for Geelong, and the mark is taken by Strang. Strang marking the ball. A good decision by umpire Shields. There was never any doubt that Strang marked it cleanly. Sharrock thought he had it, but there's the kick now by Strang off the side of the boot. Let's Geelong in. Andrews it is. He's going to have a long shot at goal. It's on its way. This could be very close. If it's shepherded off, it's a goal. I think it is. I don't think it was touched. Oh, it's a goal. Well, now, this makes it interesting. There's the huge section of the crowd, an almost capacity crowd, I should say, one in the order of 108,000, and Geelong have quickly got within 4 points of Richmond. Can they repeat last week's performance when they rattled on about 9 goals in the third quarter against Carlton?
A good start to it.
Bounce of the ball, umpire Peter Shields in charge. Farmer it is who gets the tap down. Marshall wrestles for the ball in ruck. Scooped away by Andrews to Goggin, who's under a tremendous amount of pressure. Ball comes away, taken by Alan Richardson of Richmond. Sends towards centre half forward. They fly for the mark, contested there. The ball goes onto the ground. Kicked off the ground by Farman. Taken by Clay. Hand pass to Burke. Burke a hand pass forward towards his teammate Richardson, but it's Farman who breaks up the attack for Geelong. Sends it out wide where Closter gains possession of the ball. He sends forward. Mike Perry of Richmond in front. Behind it's Ryan. Wastes no time. Handballs to Sharrock. Sharrock with a left foot puts the kick on its way towards the 10-yard square. Wade and Swift fly for the ball. On the ground, but the whistle's blown. And Sharrock could get the chance of a free kick further afield. Free kick further afield, yes. Sharrock interfered with after he had disposed of the ball. Wade with a big smile on his face. 94 goals he's kicked so far this season, and he's on the boundary line.
And a straight kick here, and Geelong could be in front. It's on its way, and it's through, a goal. And Geelong have hit the...
And what a good piece of football thinking by Wade, too. He was on a ridiculous angle, and in kicking his third goal, he ran around the man on the mark and popped it through. A very cool execution of the business. Now Geelong now move along to 10 goals 6, leading Richmond 9-10. 3 goals in how many minutes?
4 minutes. Back on the centre now. Rucks go for it with Patterson grabbing the ball there. He's smothered. Hits the ground. Geelong come forward again. A chance here for Goggin. Comes through. Magnificent play. Gets the ball across to Polinelli. He's grabbed. Goggin comes to it again. What courage this fellow's got. There he is, still battling it out, and gets the free kick. One of football's most courageous players is Billy Goggin. Tremendous courage and determination. He's got a lead in here short. A nice one from Andrews, who takes the mark. Well, Geelong last week rattled on 9 goals in the third quarter. They've got 3 on the board quickly in this third term again. There's the kick. Bring the ball up towards Sharrock. It's knocked away. Chance here for Mike Perry. Crashes his way through. Is forced over the boundary line there by Hines. The ball to be thrown in half forward right. The crowd electrified by this tremendous berth by Geelong to take them to the lead. They were down 16 points at half-time. Richmond in the white necks, Geelong in the black. And there's Brown coming through for Richmond. He's crashed heavily onto the ground, brought down unmercifully there, and will take the free kick. Billy Brown, the second row before Richmond, is kicked towards the member stand wing position. Polinelli is waiting for the ball. He's got tremendous pace, this fellow. He's jet propelled, I think. He's caught, loses possession of the ball. Umpire shields his play on. Barrett comes in, picks it up, drives it towards the centre of the ground. They fly high. There's Northey waiting down behind. Foster is after him. Northey gets the ball onto his boot, sends it down to Big Ganane. Ganane overruns it. Through comes Rosenau, picks up the ball, crashes into an opponent, whips a hand pass to Ainsworth, and Ainsworth slams defensively towards the boundary line. The ball to be thrown in halfway between the right full forward position and half forward line for Richmond. Geelong come clear. Rosenau gets the ball to Marshall in the centre, all on his own, and decides to steady. The Geelong supporters are really finding voice now as they hit back at Richmond. There's the kick by Marshall. It's a beauty onto the left half forward flank of Geelong. There's Perry moving to the ball. He's under pressure here. Bergen comes in to help Perry, but takes the ball over the line. It comes off his boot and will be thrown in midfield on the outer side.
Geelong getting a lot more drive since Marshall went into the centre to oppose Barrett. Farmer taps the ball down straight to Goggin. A hand pass from Goggin. Sharrock ducks, dodges, straightens up. Beautiful! Classical football. Geelong running riot as they did last week when they kicked 8 goals 1 against Carlton in that third quarter to give them the lead. Now Wade drop kicks for goal. It's on its way. It might be off, but it's not.
96 to Doug Wade. Can he reach the 100 before the close of this game?
Well, it's well within his grasp. That's the 4th one he's kicked today. And what a good player he looks, too, when he leads for that ball as he did then, because the architects in the Geelong side are all over the ground. They can dispose of the ball, and the passing to Wade on that occasion, brilliant play.
Geelong now, 8 points in front, back on the centre. There's Patterson getting the tap. The ball's grabbed by Farmer. Grabbed again here by Bull Richardson. Sends Richmond forward, but it's all Geelong in defence. Mark taken here by Newland. Newland gets the lead from Polinelli on his own. He's loose in the open spaces. Away he goes. Swings Geelong forward again. The ball comes up onto their right half forward line. It's knocked down. Grabbed here by Mike Perry coming out with plenty of dash. He's got all the space in the world in which to move. Drives the ball forward. It's an irregular looking kick. Gives Geelong the chance. They fumble. Barrett comes in, picks up the ball, dashes down. Billy's caught with it. Will be given the free kick. A push in the backside. Umpire shields. Not a decision that all spectators favour, but Barrett to take the free for Richmond. He's got a lead in here short. Ainsworth comes late on the scene and cleverly punches the ball away. Good anticipation then by Ainsworth. He intercepted beautifully there, read the game nicely.
Shocking pass to a drop punt from Barrett when he could have kicked it quite easily.
Farmer and Ronaldson, also Mitchell doing battle. Mitchell gets the tap. It's come down towards Goggin. He's close to the boundary line. In fact, he's carried over with the ball. The throw-in, half forward left with Richmond in the attack. A lot of messages going out to the Richmond players now. Rucks again do battle. Notice the cool, lovely style of Farmer. Gets the ball to Goggin. Goggin downfield. Gets the pass in short to Marshall. Marshall goes on with play. Drives the ball up towards Geelong's right half forward line. Out comes Jewell in defence for Richmond. Sends a hand pass forward. Dean is racing to the ball. Will the boundary line be too close? No, Strang gets it. Whips a hand pass to Burke. Burke drives the ball to Barrett. Setting himself for the mark. Is going to be allowed it? No, play on, says umpire Shields. And away goes Barrett. Bounces the ball once. Puts it onto his boot. Drives it forward. Out comes Rosenau, though, to mark and break up the attack.
Rosenau to take that kick out wide. He got the lead further afield from West, and West holds the mark out on the half-back flank. Now he's playing at full back. Now West sees a lead in turn, and the mark is taken by Farman. Palms off his opponent, gets his kick high in the air. It's all Richmond, and Barrett is there to take the mark. Billy Barrett customarily puffing out his cheeks as he takes the mark. Now drop kicks the ball, a long raking kick back to half forward. Ganane is there. It's Royce Hart who takes the mark, however. Hart, the Richmond full forward, shifted to the centre half forward position at quarter time. Kick on its way from Hart. He's got the distance and the accuracy.
Well, that's a comeback goal kicked by Hart. He's third. 3 goals to Royce Hart. Executed with a drop punt. Covered fully 60 yards, and Richmond, after a little bit of rattling treatment by Geelong early in that quarter, have come back, mainly through Barrett's consistency in the centre. I thought he's kept them in the game. 10-10 now, Richmond, 11-6 Geelong.
Only 2 points the difference, and we're 10 minutes into the third quarter. Rucks go for it here with a tap going to Mitchell. It comes clear. Grab here by Richardson. He quickly swings Richmond forward, but there's Farmer in the way. Farmer's got a lead wide from Cluster. Cluster's going to be under pressure, I think, from Clay. Gets to the ball first, though. Drops it onto his boot. Sends it up onto the half-forward line where the mark is taken by Andrews. Andrews, half-forward left, goes back. He's got a lead in short here. The pass is too high. Gives Richmond the chance to get out of trouble. Geelong smother, though, very quickly. The whistle goes, and it's a free to Jewell. Jewell immediately goes on with play. Geelong not happy with the decision. There's the kick, bring the ball forward. It's not clear. Barry Richardson picks it up for Richmond. Comes onto his left boot. Drives the ball down to Paddy Ganane. West punches the ball away. It comes towards Ainsworth. He gets in a hand pass. Barrett is after the ball. Overruns it. Farman comes in. Barrett met solidly there by Marshall. There's Marshall moving to the ball again. Comes downfield with it. Swings Geelong into attack with a raking drop kick. Ryan flies. Couldn't mark. Sharrock picks up the ball. Lines up the goal. It's falling in short, though. And Swift is coming out. There's a little melee behind the play, and there you can see it. Sharrock in the thick of it. Ganane too. Goggin moves in. Umpire Shields comes clear of it all and will come to the ball, which is out of play at half forward right with Geelong in the attack.
Could be a free kick, Ken, to Wade.
We'll wait and see what umpire Shields is going to do. Yes, Wade is to take the free kick. And it's a fairly difficult one. Geelong leading Richmond by 2 points, and we've had about 12 minutes of play in the third quarter. Can Wade puts this through for his 96th goal. It's on its way. He kicks right across the goal. It's in a little bit short too. The mark claimed by Ryan. Will he be allowed it? Yes, it's Ryan's mark, a magnificent mark from behind, a beauty. He has a very good pair of hands, this fellow, and is on a very acute angle, about 10 yards out. Comes around, lines up the goal. I think he's offline with it. Yes, it's a point only. A point to Geelong. They move on now to 11-7. 73 points. Richmond are 10-10. 73 points the difference.
He tried to steal the shot at goal, similar to the previous goal we saw kicked by Doug Wade. That is running around the man on the mark. to Bill Ryan, a delightful mark, beautiful in the air, strong hands, and certainly taking it right up to the Richmond big fellows. An indifferent kick, but that quite easily could have been a goal. Kick in now by Swift.
And it's a magnificent kick, about 65 yards. Richmond fly, Geelong bring down the ball, and this is Ryan again. Ryan wastes no time, plays on towards Sharrock. Mitchell there, can't mark the ball, gets round onto his left foot, however, sends it in short, and there's Hines. Hines within scoring distance for Geelong. They are playing purposeful football in this third quarter. They lead by 3 points.
Magnificent recovery. They were down 16 points at halftime.
Hines drop kick on its way. It's straight. It's a goal.
What a confident approach by Hines. And this is the way we like to see the game played. Delightful drop kicking, certainly in perfect conditions, but the type of game, close all the way, a grand final, and certainly thrilling this wonderful crowd.
Well, I guess the Richmond supporters at half-time, when they led by 16 points, were saying to themselves, well, we can possibly go on and win our first premiership for 24 years. And now Geelong supporters are probably saying, can Geelong be the first team to come from third place to win the premiership?
Bounce of the ball in the centre. Mitchell taps it down, but Perry steals the thunder, breaks his way past a Geelong player, then sinks his boot right into the ball to full forward. A marking duel in the goal square. Patterson picks it up, straightens up, left foot, it's touched. It's only a point. Well, the Geelong supporters breathe heavily again.
Well, this is a real crowd pleaser. There's not been a great deal between the two teams all day long. The biggest break was Richmond's break of 16 points at halftime.
And it's 8 points now in Geelong's favour as West kicks in.
Ganane in the ruck for Richmond.
They fly high. Farmer whips the ball down. And it's Walker's free kick. He was met solidly. The tackle was too high. In fact, he got one right on the jaw.
I think Paddy Ganane has taken a run on the ball for Richmond.
Yes, we just mentioned that, Ken, and he certainly made his presence felt.
Now there's Walker to take that free kick, drives towards the centre of the ground. Geelong behind, can't mark. Perry running through again, gets his left foot to the ball, but it's Polinelli who'll mark. Now he goes on with play, straightens up and whips the pass forward where Marshall came through. Marshall tries to claim Strang, but Strang is breaking downfield now. Drives with a drop kick towards centre half forward. It's all Geelong. Farman takes the mark and plays on quickly. His kick isn't a good one, but there's Polinelli, fumbles the mark. Picked up now, all by Newell, and a beautiful one-handed bounce and a short pass, which was over Marshall's head. Coming out to meet the ball is Dean. Dean is held when not in possession and must get the free kick. Good thinking by Marshall to break up that forward move by Dean.
Do you think Dean went to bounce the ball or threw it away?
It's doubtful. It could have been either. Richardson, held too long, must get the free kick. This is Barry Richardson, the Richmond half-forward flanker. Roughly in the centre of the ground, just wide of the cricket pitch area, sends towards half-forward. Richmond's Royce Hart pulls in a beautiful mark.
I think he's going to bounce it.
I don't know why, Ken.
Changed his mind, definitely, I thought.
At the bounce of the ball, Mitchell gets the tap there for Geelong. Francis Burke moving in. He's going to run into trouble. There's Hines chipping in for Geelong, puts the ball onto his boot and sends it out of play. And he's got a cramp too. He's got a cramp in his left leg, I think. Rucks move down. Excitement intense here as these two teams battle for the 1967 Victorian Premiership. There's Newland swinging the ball forward for Geelong, but there's Dean way out from the back pocket, marking for Richmond. Dean's kick, a good penetrating one, sends it well into the scoring zone for Richmond. There's Billy Brown claiming the mark, a second grab at it, and he's going to be allowed it. Lovely mark taken by Brown, the second rover for Richmond, and he'll put them well into attack from here. He's about centre half forward, could get the distance. He's a beautiful kick, this little chap. There's the kick on its way. It's falling that little bit short and marked safely by Ainsworth, playing a grand game in the back pocket for Geelong all day. Hasn't put a foot wrong. There's his kick, very close to the boundary line, coming towards Mitchell. The mark claimed here, though, by Barry Richardson. Nice mark, too.
Recovered brilliantly, I thought, to take the second bite at the cherry.
Richardson's going to line the goal up. He'll be about 45 yards out, perhaps a shade more, on a fairly acute angle. It's on its way. It's a magnificent kick, a little bit offline, falling a bit short too. And there's Ainsworth coming away with the ball again for Geelong. A lovely pass coming out towards Closter, who's got the drop on Clay. Clay puts his boot, Closter puts his boot to the ball. It comes to Eales. Eales fumble the ball. There's a free kick here to Richmond. Player being held, not in possession, was Strang, I think. And Strang will take the free kick for Richmond, midfield on the outer side.
He got a solid one when he was on the ground too, and sends forward to Alan Richardson now. Richardson breaking round the boundary, hand passes to Northey, but it put him under all the pressure in the world. Clever play by Northey, got it to Patterson, but it came undone as Goggin breaks up the attack to Farmer. Farmer looking for kicks further afield, gives the opportunity for Closter, running towards the ball. Whoops, he missed, he's down in that circle, and they're really working him over. The umpire decides to ball it up. Bounce of the ball there once again. They fly for it. Tapped down by Ronaldson towards Alan Richardson. This time he hand passes again. Straight to a man under pressure, Barrett, but he breaks clear. The two Geelong men collide and Barrett drives the ball up towards Ganane. Ganane pushed, not seen by the umpire, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Work at the moment, very, very sloppy indeed, and they're not kicking the ball to one another in any fashion whatsoever.
8 points the difference. Patterson in ruck for Richmond. The ball comes down towards Northey. Danger here for Geelong. Northey screws round towards Ganane. Can't mark. Taken away from the ball. And a great chance now for Geelong to break up the attack as it's Ainsworth sends out towards Newland. Chipping in his Burke of Richmond. Keeps the ball in play. Kicked off the ground and eventually across the line and out of bounds.
We're about 20 minutes into the third quarter with Geelong holding an 8-point advantage, 12-7 to 10-11.
Boundary throw in again. Mitchell gets the tap down, but it's sharked by Bartlett, the Richmond rover. He kicks the ball high in the air. Rosenau sets himself and holds the mark. He wastes no time, plays on when given the lead by Farmer further afield. Farmer, a 50-yard hand pass. Got the ball beautifully across to Eales. Eales towards centre half forward, and Ryan a hand pass. Beautiful football by Geelong, getting the ball into Sharrock. And Sharrock settles down play about 50 yards out and on a slight angle.
Well, this is the way the Geelong forwards ran right in the third quarter of the preliminary final against Carlton last week.
Sharrock on line with the kick, and it's there for a goal, and that's Sharrock's third.
Brilliant play by Geelong then. A teamwork effort. They took the ball from Polly Farmer with a chain of hand passes and foot passes. Marking was Ryan. He hand passed, and they eventually got the ball across to Sharrock. And what a match winner this fellow can be. They created the loose man very nicely, Geelong, and certainly at the moment looked the goods.
They've added 6-1 so far in the third quarter. Back with umpire Shields. Rucks go high. Mitchell gets the tap. The ball grabbed here, though, by Richmond through Barrett. Barrett driving the ball forward. Out comes Roy West. Oh, just held the mark. Very nearly slipped out of his hands and could have spelt danger for Geelong. Geelong are taking this game right up to Richmond in this quarter. West comes in, a lovely kick towards the centre of the ground. Mitchell sets himself for the mark. It's knocked away. In comes Goggin. The Geelong spoil one another there. This allows Bartlett in. Bartlett gets a kick forward. Out comes Ainsworth. Couldn't quite grab the ball. Brown's got it. He's dashing downfield with the ball. Lines up the goal. He's kicked it right across. And there's a chance for Patterson. Patterson a hand pass to Northey. Back to Patterson. Patterson lines up the goal and hooks it around. Out of play, I think. Or perhaps for a behind. No, it was out of play, just near the left-hand behind post.
I think it was smothered by Farman, Ken, to put it offline.
Beautiful defence there by Geelong. Ronaldson doing battle with Farmer. Farmer the tap down to Ainsworth. He's smothered. There's Brown battling his way through. May get a free kick. The tackle was a little bit high, I think, around his neck. And Brown will take the free, a penalty within easy kicking range.
Well, it was a very obvious one, even from this high observation point, that free kick going to Brown.
14 points in front. I think Geelong are at the moment a straight kick here, and the difference will be only 8. Let's watch Brown put the ball on its way. A comparatively easy shot. And through it goes, no doubt about it. And that's Brown's third goal. And the difference again whittled down to 8 points. And we're about 23 minutes into the third quarter.
I've noticed Northey throughout this game seems to have been wrong-footed quite a deal. I don't know whether this is a good tactical move, or well, it's good tactics as far as Geelong is concerned, but I thought Tom Hafey might, at this stage, seeing that this has happened to Northey quite a deal, to whip him over on the other flank. He seems to be turning around onto his right foot all the time, and this is giving Farman a fairly easy job.
Ronaldson in ruck now for Richmond, but he misses the tap. It's Farmer who gets the tap, sends it out wide with a hand pass. And Richmond coming away through Mike Perry, showing a lot of dash and courage in this particular turn. The ball punched away from Northey, down onto the ground. A chance now for Andrews, being pursued by Bergen of Richmond. The ball goes across the line and out of bounds. 85-77. Geelong in front. Farmer up high, taps the ball down. Whistle on the play. Ronaldson getting the free kick. Farmer getting into his back there as they flew for that boundary throw in. Now Ronaldson, an awkward-looking kick, covers quite a deal of distance with it, however, looking for Hart. Hart marks, or is it Barry Richardson behind? Hart it is who'll get the kick.
Well, Richardson's coming out to take it himself, though, but then he's got to pass it over.
Cleverly nominated, Dick Mason. I would have thought otherwise myself.
Hart, a long way out, 50, 60 yards out. Kick on its way, drop punt, covering a lot of distance, dropping in the goal square. Rosenau tries to mark the ball, but it's West coming out, who's got the mark. West now sees the lead given to him by Farmer, as he did previously. Sends it out wide towards the big cat. Then Farmer puts his boot into the ball, sends this one out wide, but it's too wide and out of bounds. Clay of Richmond, number 8, and Closter having quite a deal of to do with this game, but I think the Geelong man would be in front at this stage. Now boundary throw in to take place. 2 is Ronaldson, 12 Alan Richardson of Richmond taps the ball down. Is a chance for Geelong to win the ball through Closter. They do so. He kicks it high in the air. This puts a lot of players under pressure, but Perry, brilliant. Hand passes straight to Farmer, though, not so brilliant. Taken by Marshall, under pressure. Dodged 3 players, gave the hand pass back to Farmer. He's under pressure and bundled over. Ryan gets the hand pass out towards Andrews. Andrews screws the ball round towards centre half forward. Richmond in control, but then the ball hits the ground and Polinelli takes over. Polinelli stops, beautifully shepherded by Sherrick. Goes for goal. A long kick on its way, falling short. Swift's in front and holds the mark in defence for the Tigers. The Richmond captain.
Well, that gave Wade, the Geelong forward, no chance. He had to put that ball high into the air because Wade was playing Swift from behind. Now, there's Swift's kick. A lovely drop. A good 60-yarder towards the centre of the ground. Oh, there's a push in the back to Ronaldson, and he must get the free kick. And Ryan not looking at all happy about it, talking to umpire Shields. We're just about to enter the time-on period in the third quarter with Geelong 13-7, 85 to Richmond 11-11, 77 as Ronaldson sends the ball into attack for Richmond. Up towards centre half forward. Oh, there's a magnificent mark taken by Geelong Newland. A beautiful mark. He got the ride on the back of the pack. They're the sort of marks that thrill the big crowds, and that was a gem by Newland. The 15-yard penalty being applied here by umpire Shields. There's the kick brought out towards Sharrock. Sharrock trying to get in front. He's been watched very closely, though, by the Richmond defenders. There's Sharrock still doing battle. Gets the ball clear. Goggin pounces on top of it. This grab drops the ball. Will he be penalised? We'll wait and see. No, a free kick to Goggin. Held not in possession.
Oh, man, it was, but I'd say a photo finish, that one.
Goggin will put this ball well into attack. No doubt he'll look for Wade. There's Wade coming from behind. He's going to fly high. Too late on the scene, though. It hits the ground. Richmond pounce on the ball defensively. However, Ryan picks it up. Gets a hand pass forward. It's gone straight to Dean. Dean drops the ball onto his boot. It's coming out to Francis Burke. Burke very close to the boundary line. Will be put under pressure by Polinelli. Gets a hand pass away to Brown. Brown drives the ball forward. In the meantime, the whistle is gone, and it's a free kick coming back to Francis Burke. Or will it go further afield?
I think it'll go to Brown, Ken.
Yes, it is, too. It's Brown who is going to take the free for Richmond on Geelong's right half forward line. We've had about 27 minutes of play in this third quarter. Brown just looking for a lead. Nothing's coming. Pack fly for the ball. No one's marked. Marshall came to the ball, overran it. There's Barrett. Dumped heavily as he got the ball away to Burke. Burke a hand pass also. Sends the ball to Clay. Clay drops it onto his boot. It's coming pretty close to the boundary line. In fact, rolls over and will be thrown in half forward left with Richmond in the attack. And Polly Farmer is on the ground with a knee injury. There he is, holding his knee. Whether it's a cramp or not, I don't know. But there's the ball into play. Bartlett gets hold of it. sends it forward, comes the ball, Richardson, he's going to be tackled, the tackle too high, he hand passes to Bartlett lines up the goal, this could be through, no, it's a point only. A point only to Richmond, with Polly Farmer still in the hands of the Geelong trainers. Well, what a loss he would be if he had to leave the ground for the Cats. That point takes Richmond on to 11-12, 78 points. Geelong are 13-7, 85, 7 points the difference.
Roy West, the Geelong full-back, kicking in and going straight down the centre of the ground to no avail. Richmond through Barrett, breaking up the attack. Oh, he bounces the ball in, loses it. Marshall, his opponent, comes in, but he can't win the ball. Fumbles. Barrett running into an open goal, puts it on its way and puts it through.
Marvellous comeback by Richmond. There's a lot of fight in the old Tiger yet, because momentarily in that third quarter, when Geelong put pressure on Richmond, it looked to me as if they could be gone. But it was classical football and all the ingredients of the first quality side to come back the way they did.
1 point the difference, and the crowd right on its toes. A crowd in the order of 108,000, I should say. Richmond coming right back. Farmer still in the hands of the Geelong trainers. Back with umpire Shields now. Not long to go in the third quarter as Ronaldson hits the ball forward. It comes to Hart. Hart a hand pass out towards Barrett. Barrett tries to crash his way through. Hart comes to the ball again. Gives it to Barrett. He's caught with it. The tackle too high around his neck, and Barrett will get the free kick. And Polly Farmer is back on his feet. There's Farmer. Back now with Barrett. At centre half forward at the moment. Ooh, it's a lovely drop kick right into the goal square. Ganane sets himself for it, made a second grab at the ball, couldn't hold it, and there's the point to the level of scores at the 29-minute mark in the third quarter. Well, it couldn't be closer. Will we see another thriller like we did last year when St Kilda won their first ever premiership?
And they won it by a point. There's the kick in from West, a chance for Andrews to paddle the ball along in front of him, picked up by Farman. He's met by Hart. Hart grabbed, but gets the ball to Clay. Clay ran a fair distance, lost the run of the ball, and picked it up, recovered, kicked the ball high in the air, and it's gone through for a point to Richmond, and that gives the Tigers the lead very close to three-quarter time. The Tigers, a great recovery.
Score now, Richmond 12-14, Geelong 13-7.
The big question now, Doug, is that Richmond have come in after a week's rest. Geelong are playing their second hard game, and will they be able to see it right out?
West kicks in, and it's a nice mark taken by Walker, the Geelong centre-half back. Walker sends out wide to Polinelli, given a lot of latitude in this game, and one of Geelong's good players. Now Polinelli plays on quickly, looking for Ryan, who's going to fly from behind, can't mark, claims it, not allowed. Sharrock goes in, misses the run of the ball. A hand pass finds Brown in possession for Richmond in the centre of the ground. He runs straight into Farmer, but passes to Northey. Northey takes the mark. Northey at centre half forward for the Tigers. Looking for leads further afield, getting none. Kicks the ball high in the air. This is what Ganane wants. Ganane's badly positioned, however. It's touched the post. And there's another point on the board to Richmond. A good long kick from Northey on that occasion. Richmond now leading by 2 points as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. And here's the scoreboard. Richmond 12-15, 87. Geelong 13-7, 85. All virtually in readiness for the start of the last quarter. Umpire Shields steps into the circle and bounces the ball. Up high, it's Patterson, taps the ball down. A chance for Farmer and Barrett. The ball on the ground. Scrappy play in the centre of the ground, but it's picked up by Clay to send Richmond forward. Clay sends it forward, up towards the forward pocket. Ganane breaks his way clear. Can't control the ball. Puts it on his boot. Oh, shocking kick right across the face of the goals, and it's out of bounds.
Graham on for Geelong. Hines off.
Boundary throw in. Ronaldson in ruck, number 2 against Andrews, number 6 for Geelong. Ronaldson picks it up, gives it to Bartlett. Snapshot at goal. And it's there. Goal kicked by Bartlett. That's his second of the match. And the Tigers now have an 8-point lead.
Copybook ruck work, got the ball down to Bartlett then, and he raced in practically unopposed and popped it through. And a valuable goal for Richmond, which gives them now an 8-point advantage.
That goal on the board within about 30 seconds of the commencement of the final quarter. Back now with umpire Shields. There's a tap going to Mitchell, a beauty too, brings the ball forward, a chance for Ryan, whips a hand pass to Goggin, Goggin in turn to Andrews, he's going to be caught with the ball, races on with it though, maybe shepherded off, Sharrock picks it up, has a left foot snap at goal, it's a good attempt too. Wade claims the mark, but he was through when he took it, and it's 9-2 Geelong. A quick reply by the Cats. Fred Swift, there he is, the fullback and captain of Richmond. A magnificent kick, this fellow. Uses the drop kick invariably, and there's a lovely raking one almost to the centre of the ground. Polinelli flew high, comes to the ball as it hits the ground, overruns it. This allows Francis Burke in. Out comes Walker. Oh, he overruns the ball. This will let Richmond in. Hart gets hold of it, sends a hand pass forward, chipping in as Marshall. Marshall controlling the ball beautifully, showing tremendous pace. Clears it away. There's Polinelli racing to it close to the boundary line, but the boundary line was too close for him. The throw in now, half forward left. Richmond in the attack, leading by 7 points. There's the ball into play. Farmer coming to it, pretty close to the boundary line. Comes onto the left boot, sends a hand pass forward. A long one to Closter. Closter in turn over to Polinelli. Polinelli swinging Geelong into attack. A long kick brings the ball well forward for them. Eales comes to the ball there. He's tackled. Is going to be penalised for holding the ball, and the free is going to Dean. Dean immediately sends a hand pass forward. It's come out here to Strang, who nearly has his head pulled off, and he'll take the free kick.
And those last two decisions by umpire Peter Shields, he hasn't moved any more than 10 yards. He was 70 yards behind the game and must have very good eyesight.
There's the kick now by Dean. And once again, it's Polinelli who chips in. Jet propelled, this fellow, a real racehorse. Drives the ball forward. It wasn't a well-directed kick, and it's marked by Clay. Clay with the ball for Richmond right in the centre. Very big crowd here, possibly a record crowd since the introduction of the reserve seat system. There's a chance for Geelong. Farmer comes in there with Goggin. Richmond player held. Umpire Shields says play on. Goggin has got the ball here, drives it forward. It's coming up towards Ryan, but out comes Swift with great dash and determination. Gets a hand pass forward. Over it goes to Dean. Beautiful understanding between those two players, and Dean slams close to the boundary line and puts the ball over to be thrown in midfield on the outer side.
Boundary throw in again. They're wrestling in the ruck, and it comes over the back. The whistle's blown. Patterson to get the free kick for Richmond. Mainly, I think, because he had the advantage of the front position. There's his kick, straight into the man on the mark. And away go the Cats once again.
Sharrock it is, Dick.
Breaking up the attack. Kicks for goal with a long kick, but he's offline. The mark is taken by Jewell of Richmond in the last line of defence. Jewell, 2 steps and then a kick, sends it out wide towards Clay. He let it go. That was Closter, who was grabbed solidly after taking a chest mark.
I wonder if Closter said to him, let it go.
He probably did. There's Closter's drop kick and a beautiful kick too. Wade in front on this occasion. Ball hits the ground, backed up by Dean. Dean drives it away with the left foot, looking for Burke. The ball bounces favourably for Burke. Polinelli 10 yards behind as Burke starts to clear out. 2 bounces. Then gets his kick and is dumped and a free kick downfield.
Oh, yes. And a very glaring and obvious one it was too, and the only mistake I think that Bill Goggin has made for the day.
Free kick going to Royce Hart, it looks like. Hart with his left foot drop kick, and it's a good one too. Geelong in front. Oh, great, courageous mark. Pulled in by Chris Mitchell.
He's the recruit of the year in my book, this fellow.
Very close to it, Ken.
Mitchell's going to favour the outer side of the ground. It's a drop punt. Burke sets himself for the mark there with Polinelli. They both miss it. Patterson comes in, whips a hand pass forward. It's gone to Burke. Palmer gets right into the back of Burke, and he's going to get the free kick. Burke has the ball on Richmond's left half forward line. Richmond leading 13-15 to 13-8. 7 points the difference, and we're 5 minutes into the final quarter. This grand final a thriller. There's a kick by Burke. Oh, it's grubbed along the ground a little bit. Gives Newland the chance to pick it up for Geelong. Puts it onto his boot. He's brought it right into a sea of faces, though, in the outer side of the ground. Once again, the throw in. This time on Richmond's left half forward line. Farmer doing battle there with Patterson. They've had a great tussle. Mitchell, who gets the tap, though, it comes down to Barry Richardson. Barry Richardson onto his left boot, drives the ball forward. Out comes Roy West, though, to mark. Had the greater pace than Ganane then, and West took the mark on the last line of defence. He's played well at fullback. Message coming out to the Richmond players as West puts his boot to the ball. It's come forward. Newland's got it there for Geelong. Swings them forward, drives the ball towards Sharrock. There's Perry knocking the ball away, but chipping in nicely is Eales to pick up the ball, puts it onto his boot. Wade is coming late on the scene. The ball is punched away and over the line it goes. This time on Geelong's right half forward line. The message going out to Paddy Ganane. Just what it is, we don't know. Probably telling him to drop right back into that goal or try and get in front of West. There's the ball coming in. A lovely tap out. Finds Bull Richardson of Richmond. Richardson drives the ball out of the danger zone. A good penetrating kick. Out it goes towards Barry Richardson. The ball is knocked away from him and over the line to be thrown in. The defence is right on top at the moment. First one side on top, then the other, and Richmond clinging to a 7-point advantage after about 8 minutes of play in the final quarter.
Boundary throw in, a lot of wrestling and jostling still going on in the ruck. Kick off the ground there by Mitchell, gets the ball to Newland. Newland a hand pass to Goggin. Goggin to Polinelli, good football. Polinelli a long raking kick forward. Almost a chance for Wade. Andrews. Anybody? No, it's Jewell as the ball bounced awkwardly, and Jewell gets the kick away for Richmond and puts it into the outer.
Oh, that looked danger for Richmond, and what a lucky break for them that ball bounced away from Eales.
Summed up very nicely. It was luck all the way, and with the Tigers on that occasion. Bounce certainly favoured them.
93 plays 86. And it's Richmond in front as Patterson taps the ball down. Here's a chance for Ryan. Grabbed, plays allowed to go on. Kicked away by Brown of Richmond to send it out wide. And there's that man again, Polinelli. Wastes no time. Kicks the ball around. A beautiful pass. Missed by Farmer. Clay coming down to break up the attack. Flanks it out wide to Richardson. Could have been a mistake as Richardson's about to be put under pressure. Ducks and dodges. Maintains his control over the ball and then kicks it high in the air towards the forward line. Geelong in front. Rosenow pulled to the ground. A chance now for Richmond as the ball goes onto the ground. Farman gets it out wide. Here's Ainsworth and Marshall down from the centre to get the ball onto his boot and put it across the line once again.
Well, what a ding-dong struggle this has developed into. Neither side able to break through cleanly at the moment.
Boundary throw in once again. Geelong in front through Mitchell. Nobody seems to know where the ball is. Bartlett does. Hand pass to Brown. Brown caught, held, and gets the free kick.
Good thinking by Brown then too. He was under all sorts of pressure, elected to get rid of the ball, knew he was going to be grabbed, was so, and has awarded the free kick.
Billy Brown has 3 goals on the board already and could be well within scoring distance. A goal here would make it difficult for Geelong. Brown, kick on its way, dropping a little short, off the hands of the pack and through for a point. Richmond 13-16-94, Geelong 13-8-86, 8 points the difference, about 9.5 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Which side's going to crack?
Well, these two teams, Richmond and Geelong, by far the two most skillful sides in the league this season. There's the kick in by West, a magnificent one. Bring the ball up to Walker. Walker's going to dash downfield with it. Put Geelong into attack. Looking there for Ryan, and the big fellow takes him out. Oh, and he got one for his quarter too. As he came down, he was met unmercifully there, just over the centre half forward position, and Ryan could put it through here. There's the shot on its way. I think he's got it. We'll wait on it. It's a goal for Geelong. 2 points the difference, and that's Ryan's second, is it? No, Ryan's first goal, and it's 2 points the difference, and we're 10 minutes, Jack Cameron, aren't we, into the final quarter. And this capacity crowd, a crowd in the order of 108,000 people, are just going wild with excitement. The big question is, who will win it? Will Richmond win their first premiership for 24 years? Will Geelong win it from third place for the first time in history? There's the ball coming to Polinelli. Away go Geelong into attack again. Get the ball down to centre half forward. The ball's not clear. Comes out here. A chance for Ryan. Ryan's going to have a left foot snap. No, he's lining it up. Shoots for goal, but he's away offline with it. The big fellow, I think, tried to do just a little bit too much there.
1 point it is, and that's 1 point the difference now. Geelong 14-9, Richmond 13-16, and Ryan certainly has done all that's been asked of him today. He's taken some beautiful marks up in the air and played very well.
Swift kicks in a magnificent kick. Marshall flies behind, punches the ball down. Geelong with a chance through Eales. Eales sends forward. Wade there. Ball bounces into the goal square. Touch through for a point. The Geelong player put his foot across the goal line in kicking the ball, and therefore it can only register a behind.
And the scores are level.
Level the scores, and that is one occasion when a goal umpire has got to be quick, very quick in mind. Kick in by Swift.
And again a magnificent kick. Farmer up behind late, claims the mark, then hand passes out wide. Mitchell gets a short kick in, and the mark is taken by Eales. 94 points each. Eales within kicking range.
Who could ask for more?
Kick on its way. It's got a lot of distance, but the accuracy is not there. It's a point, and the Cats have hit the front.
All level. The scores, I think, Dick. 14-11, 95 Geelong, 13-16 Richmond.
This is the third time that Geelong has been in front as Swift kicks off again. His third 65-yarder in a row. Patterson tries to mark, can't do so. It's Perry who comes away with the ball, but his kick's smothered. Taken now by Bartlett. He's caught twice. Gets the hand pass away. A chance for Barrett. Going in to claim it is Newland. Beats him to the ball. Hand pass out wide towards Goggin. A chance to use his pace. He gets his kick to the ball towards Polinelli. No, it's Graham honours the reserve. Graham forward, but the ball is a bad bounce. Richmond spoil each other, giving the opportunity for Eales. Races goalwards. Drop kick on its way. Out of bounds.
Oh, what a chance that was for Geelong to score a goal. Eales had the chance to run right in towards the goal, but he elected to have a shot from about 40 yards out.
Alan Richardson in trouble, cramped on the far flank as the ball is thrown in from the out of bounds. Grabbed in the ruck and shot by Ryan. It's marked right on the goal line. A fantastic mark by Roger Dean, but the goal umpire's coming out to speak to the field umpire, and Dean will have to go back and take this kick. Obviously, the goal umpire telling umpire Shields that Dean had marked inside the playing area.
And what a fantastic save it was. And there's a short kick going in towards Swift. He could be caught with the ball here. It gets clear with it, though, and there's a chance for Strang to break away. He does so, gets the ball to Barrett. Barrett fumbles, comes to the ball again now. Whips a hand pass, and away go Richmond. They've got the show here as the ball is coming down under their right half forward line. Driven forward, there's Ainsworth in front, or rather Rosenau couldn't hold the mark. He's tackled the ball on the ground. Umpire Shields says, I'll bounce it.
Off the ground for Richmond is Alan Richardson. He's taken from the field, waiting for the replacement. It looks like Perry coming on.
1 point the difference, Geelong in front. The crowd going wild with excitement as the tap comes down here towards Brown. Hand pass to Hart. Hart lines up the goal. There's Ganane setting himself for the mark. Can he kick it off the ground? He's bustled away from the ball. Desperate defence by Geelong. And what's going to happen? A free kick, is it, or was it through for a behind? Geelong may have taken it through. Yes, it was a behind to Richmond, and the scores are again level after about 14 minutes of play in the final quarter. Well, what a thriller this is. Unbelievable football. Both teams striving hard to pull this 1967 premiership out of the bag. Now, West putting the ball into play. A good drop kick towards the centre of the ground. Flying high there was Mitchell. Couldn't hold the ball. Farmer gets hold of it. Whips a hand pass. Out it goes to the racehorse Polinelli. Polinelli's kick comes forward up towards Sharrock. Sharrock's going to line the goal up from a long way out. Will he put it through? It's a goal! It's a goal! I think it's there, and that's Sharrock's fourth goal. Well, what a match winner Sharrock is. He played a magnificent game for Geelong in the third quarter against Carlton last week, kicked 4 goals in that term, and here he is putting it through for a goal to put the Cats one clear goal ahead.
One clear goal ahead, and I feel that Geelong have done it by sheer pace. They haven't wilted, and have certainly gone on with the game right throughout. Their teamwork copybook, and certainly looking still the goods, the Cats.
Another 15 minutes or so left as Geelong win the tap down in the ruck. Richardson dispossessed. Farmer goes in solidly, and it's on for Young and Old behind the players. The Tigers go forward. A chance for Ganane. Fumbles under pressure. Hand pass. Shot at goal. Out of bounds. And my word, There were some fisticuffs behind the play then as Farmer and a big opponent clashed as the ball went forward for the Tigers. But now the Tigers in their scoring area. Who'll crack under pressure? Down to ground comes the ball. A chance now for Geelong to come away with the ball. Mitchell sends forward. Cluster marks on his knees.
What a desperation mark that was.
Typical of the football that must be played now over the next 15 minutes. Down towards Marshall. The ball punched away from him by Barrett and out of bounds. This is a heart-stopper. Boundary throw in. Nobody there. Patterson comes through the ruck. Caught by Goggin. Ball comes towards Marshall. Marshall gets clear. A kick for Geelong sends them forward. Chance for them to be turned out. Strang it is who grabs the ball. He takes the bounce. Sends the Tigers forward once again towards Ronaldson. Can't mark. West coming out. Backs his judgment. Oh, and kicks it straight into the stand for a boundary throw in.
For one moment, I thought umpire Shields was going to pay the penalty for a deliberate kick out.
A lot of pressure on Geelong and West on that occasion. I think any benefit of the doubt was given to West by Shields. Good umpiring.
There's Farmer in ruck for Geelong. The tap down goes to Goggin, who punches it further afield. A chance now for Cluster. He outmanoeuvres the big fellow. Well shepherded by Goggin. Cluster a pass, but oh, great mark by Strang. Putting up his arms at the last moment to drag in that saving mark for the Tigers. Now he sends them back into attack towards the centre half forward position. Hart is there. The ball hits the ground. Richardson picks it up for the Tigers. Sends the short pass out towards Ronaldson and holds the mark. Advantage it is to be 6'5" and have a reach like that.
He used it and stretched at the same time.
Ronaldson, a drop kick, oh, it's straight to. It's a magnificent kick. It's a goal, and they're level again.
That's his second goal, Ronaldson. Full value from the pocket. And Richmond back in business again, and the score's level.
Ronaldson lost his place in the Richmond side early in the season because he couldn't kick goals.
That one for a long time, that's for sure. Now back in the centre, there's the board, all level. After about 18 minutes of play in the final quarter, Farmer goes for the ball there with Patterson. Patterson wins the tap. In comes Geelong's courageous Goggin, whips a hand pass out to Newland. Newland's got a lead here from Polinelli, and Polinelli takes the mark and rightly steadies. Now he goes on with play. He's going to look for Wade. There's the kick coming up, the big fellow. He flies, he couldn't hold it. It hits the ground. Picked up here by Perry. He loses the ball. In comes Wade again. Lines up the goal and puts it through. I think for a point. A point only. And Geelong hit the front again. Well, now, this is a fantastic game. One that this massive crowd will long remember. As Fred Swift is about to put the ball into play again. There's the clock. Swift's kick of beauty right to the centre of the ground. Farmer comes from behind, but it's a free kick and a mark to Patterson. No, it's going to Billy Barrett. Free kick to Barrett right in the centre. Barrett's kick, a rather tired-looking one, comes out towards Northey, and Northey holds the mark. It's the first time I think he's had the break on Farmer today. There's the kick by Northey, a nice one, bringing the ball well forward. West comes from behind, but apparently the player was over the mark, and the 15-yard penalty has been paid here by umpire Shields. And Northey will have another kick. And he'll put it well up towards the goal too. Northey, kick on its way, looking for Ganane. West comes from behind with a big punch away, comes out here towards Goggin. Goggin puts the ball onto its boot, come out here to Cluster. Cluster swings round, drives the ball forward. It's come towards the centre of the ground where Andrews comes in. He's caught with the ball. Will be penalised for holding it, and the free kick is going to Jewell. Not a popular decision from umpire Shields there, from the Geelong supporters' point of view. Anyhow, there's Farmer going for the ball, but the mark is beautifully taken by Little Bartlett, showing very good judgment. Beautifully judged mark. 1 point in front are Geelong as Bartlett drives the ball forward. Out comes Rosenau to meet the ball. Oh, he missed it. Picked up by Ganane. He shoots for goal, but he's out way off target with it and puts it out about 5 yards around from the right-hand behind post. Well, can Richmond score the behind to level the scores, or can they kick the goal to put them in front? They've got the opportunity. They're well into attack. Had now about 20 minutes of play in the final quarter. Rucks do battle here. Geelong getting in front, tap the ball down. Smothered very quickly here by Richmond. and umpire Shields will bounce it again. Continual roar right round the ground as Farmer knocks the ball forward. It's picked up by Bartlett. Oh, he must get a free kick. No, he's going to be penalised for throwing the ball. Free kick going to Mitchell. Mitchell looking for Cluster here. Cluster setting himself for the mark. It goes right over his head, the ball, though, and out of play. But there's a free kick going behind the play. And it's going to Cluster. Cluster to take the free for Geelong. There's his kick, very close to the boundary line. Looking for Andrews. He tries to mark one-handed, but was out of play at the time. The ball to be thrown in midfield on the member stand side. Patterson in front grabs the ball. Marshall gets right into his back, over his neck and shoulder. Patterson takes the free, quickly goes on with play. It wasn't good football. Mark taken here by Goggin, and Goggin rightly decides to steady.
Richmond players look a little bit rattled.
Goggin up towards Ryan. Ryan gets underneath the ball. In comes Andrews. Gets hold of it, drives the ball forward. There's Sharrock setting himself for the mark, makes another grab at the ball. Couldn't do so. Graham comes in, but coming through magnificently was Strang in defence for Richmond. Drives the ball forward, and a magnificent mark taken by Hart. Hart marking the ball for Richmond, almost on their centre-half forward position, and as he's such a good kick, he'll put them well into attack. Back it goes, there's the ball, bring well forward into attack. Ganane flies and takes the mark. Well, the big fellow has the chance now to put Richmond in front. He'll be about 35 yards out, straight in front. A big sigh there from Ganane as he lines it up. Let's watch it on its way. I think he's put it through for a point only, and the scores are again level. Well, what a fantastic game, and we've had about 23 and a half minutes of play in the final quarter. 14-18 Richmond, 15-12 Geelong.
23 minutes according to that clock there, Ken. And only about 7 minutes of play, and the 1967 flag to be decided in those 7 minutes or so. West kicks in. Up before acceptances was Hart. A fantastic mark.
How far off the ground would he be then? Feet, I'd say. Feet, Hart was.
Put the Tigers back into attack. Up towards Ganane. He's in front this time. Oh, but this is Chris Mitchell. A fine defending mark for Geelong to turn the Tigers out once again with the scores level. Mitchell, Gore kicks into the man on the mark. The cardinal sin of football. A chance for Northey. Play on, says the umpire. Down on the ground. The ball, and a ball up will result. Umpire Shields looking straight into the sun there. Couldn't see any infringement whatsoever and decides to ball it up. Ball onto the ground, a chance for Farman. Going in to pick it up was Hart. Couldn't do so. Ball's out wide once again. Here's a chance for Richmond. Clay gets round, runs a long way, gets his kick. Down on the ground once again. Picked up. Down goes Richmond's Hart. Is there a free kick? No, there's not. It's picked up by Newland. He's dispossessed. Ganane goes in. The ball's out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
Where did Ganane find that place in that tackle? It was good play by Ganane. Put that Geelong player under lots of pressure. Boundary throw in.
Ronaldson and Farmer. Farmer gets the hand pass, but the whistle blows against Farmer. Infringement in the ruck. Ron, the chance to be a hero for the Tigers. He's already kicked two, and a fantastic goal was his second one. He comes round to line them up well within scoring distance. He's in the opposite pocket to where he scored the last goal, with an equally good chance of putting it through. Kick on its way from Ronaldson. It's a score. It's a goal!
Ronaldson's third goal, and he'll be the hero of the Richmond side if they can win their first premiership for 24 years. That puts Richmond one clear goal in front, and we're about to enter the time-on period. Back in the centre now, away goes Mitchell, gets the top, the whistle goes, and it's a free this time to Farmer in the centre. Polly Farmer to take the free for Geelong, right in the centre. We'd have about 4 or 5 minutes remaining for play, if the quarters go as the earlier ones did. There's the kick by Farmer, a magnificent spiral punt up towards Andrews, set himself for the mark, couldn't hold it. There's Goggin chipping in, dummies a man, breaks a tackle, gets a hand pass, across it goes to Eales. Eales in trouble. not caught with the ball, drives it up the full forward, but the whistle's gone in the meantime. There'll be a free kick further afield for Geelong, a penalty free kick, and it'll be taken by Sharrock. Well now, is it Sharrock to take it or Graham? It's young Graham. Well, what a lot of pressure has been put on this young fellow coming into the Geelong side from the reserves. Can he put it through to level the score again? The kick on its way. He's hooked it around, I think. A point only. Oh, and a sigh of relief from the Richmond supporters and a sigh of disappointment from the Geelong supporters. There's the kick in by Fred Swift, a beauty, out to Patterson. Patterson taking the mark for Richmond just over their right half forward flank. Richardson's kick, a nice one, right onto the far side of the ground. Richmond knocked the ball forward. They got a chance here. Farmer comes in, grabs the ball. It's on the ground. Richmond break away with it. Get a hand pass out to Barry Richardson. Richardson in turn back to Hart. Hart back to Barry Richardson. Away go the Tigers again. Drop the ball up to Ganane. Ganane sets himself. Northey chips in, knocks the ball forward. He pops it through for a point only. Or is it out of play? No, it's out of play. And the difference, 5 points in Richmond's favour. Well, can the Tigers hold on and win the premiership, their first for 24 years?
Boundary throw in. Ronaldson in ruck taps the ball down, but it's punched away by the Geelong defenders. A chance now for Richmond. Breaking away, kicking it is Bartlett. He's put it through.
And a beautiful goal by Bartlett. That's his third. And the Richmond players are going wild with excitement, as has the crowd. 16-18 Richmond, leading Geelong 15-19. And what a clinker of a game it's been.
Memorable grand finals in the history of Victorian Football League. 28 minutes gone as umpire Shields is about to bounce the ball in the centre once again. Richmond leading by 11 points. There's the tap down from Patterson. A chance for Barrett. Bursts his way clear. In attendance is Perry. Barrett still after the ball. Comes back towards it now. Picks it up. Gets his kick. Back towards the centre of the ground. Farmer is there. Farmer marks for Geelong. Hand pass quickly on its way. Chance now for Eel. Sends it right up forward. Wade from behind can't mark. Richmond defenders all over the place. A hand pass by Jewell. Dean upset. Quick kick there. Chance now for Geelong. Swift running in towards the goal. Takes the bounce in the goal square. Grabbed by Sharrock. Gets the kick away. Perry there for Richmond. Sends the ball out wide, given the lead by Barrett. Barrett taking plenty of time. Beautiful blind turn. Then a sneaking pass in towards Richardson, and he's put down on the ground.
Well, Richmond have steadied after looking in a lot of trouble, and it's a magnificent performance by the Tigers, and full marks too to the Cats, because they had the hard game last week and Richmond had the weak spell.
Barrett in trouble out on the far wing as Richardson takes this kick looking for Ganane. The ball bounces behind the pack, and the ever-present Farmer hand passes after faking Northey. Picked up by West. His hand pass finds Farmer, who hand passes in turn towards Ainsworth. Gathers the ball in, gets his kick just as he's turfed, and the ball goes across the line and out of bounds.
Understandably, Geelong looking a pretty tired team at the moment, with Richmond holding the lead.
Boundary throw in again. Mitchell behind, whips the ball down. Another chance for Geelong here, and Marshall. Marshall hand passes to Goggin, takes a bounce, loses the run of the ball, comes back towards it, gets caught, breaks clear, hand passes further afield. A chain of Geelong hand passes to Marshall. Marshall up towards the 10-yard square. Geelong with a chance.
Oh, he didn't play the
Scarlett asked to play on, shot at goal by Ryan. And it's through for a point. That was Scarlett who marked that one, Ken, on his 20th man. But, he didn't pay the mark.
Not a good decision there by umpire
Shields. He seemed to be a long
Shields.
way behind the game, though, didn't he, Ken, on that occasion?
Oh, he's a good 70 yards behind. Bad luck for Geelong, because that was a clear mark.
10 points the difference as Swift kicks in, and only seconds remaining as the mark is taken by Patterson. Patterson steadying down on that Richmond back flank, and players cramping all over the ground. That's Sharrock down on the ground there near Patterson. Patterson's kick is a bad one, and Perry comes in to smother the kick. Gets the ball onto his right boot, into the centre of the ground where Marshall marks. Well held by Barrett. Marshall has to go back and take this kick. Time still ticking away. Now Marshall breaks clear, drives the ball forward once again. Another chance for Geelong, but Perry of Richmond, a mistake. Now here's a chance. for the Cats. It breaks clear towards Goggin. Threads his way past the umpire. Lines it up. Right foot snapshot on its way for Geelong. Swift takes the mark. And then drives Richmond right out towards Perry once again. The ball hits the turf. Another chance for Polinelli. Races in towards goal. Snapshot on its way, but he's offline as the siren sounds. And Richmond are premiers for 1967. Richmond 16, 18, 114. Geelong 15, 15, 105. The final score in the grand final with the Tigers premiers for 1967.
And there's a very happy Richmond group. And so Richmond complete its greatest football season since 1943, winning their first premiership for 24 years. And there's Fred Swift being shouldered by the Richmond players to come off the ground. In front of him there is Barry Richardson. A great effort by Geelong, though, the losers. They put up a magnificent performance. They had to face up to this game today after a very hard match against Carlton last Saturday, and full credit to them to get so close to Richmond this afternoon. But full marks to the Tigers for a great win to win their first premiership for 24 years. Doug Bigelow.
Yes, one of the highest scoring grand finals we've seen, and there's plenty of emotion in the Tiger camp. Neville Crowe we can see down there, and my word, didn't his replacement Ronaldson make a fine contribution to this win by Richmond? 3 goals, and the Richmond players, I don't think they all realise that at last, after 24 years, a premiership has come to them. But my word, there's a lot of emotion down there, and we must say to Geelong, full marks to them, a very worthy performance by them, and they fought it out right all along the way.
And so the 36-year hoodoo still remains to be broken as Geelong failed to win from third position, a feat which has never been accomplished by a team since the Page system of finals was introduced to the Victorian Football League in 1931. And in 1931, these two teams played off in the grand final.
Well, usually by this time we'd have the official tenants for the match, but I think they must be still counting them, Doug.
I think that aisle that we came down to in the members' stand is so cramped with people, and they're 6 or 7 deep at the back. There's Hafey now being shouldered high by his players.
Just running through the goal kickers for you for Richmond: Ronaldson 3, Hart 3, Bartlett 3, and Brown 3, and 1 each to Ganane, Alan Richardson, Barry Richardson. For Geelong, Wade 4, Sharrock 4, Goggin 3, and 1 each to Ryan, Eales, Hines, and Andrews.
There's Freddie Swift, Polly Farmer there, hands on hips, looks very disappointed, a very disappointed Polly Farmer, gets up on the dais with Fred Swift, and Swift holds Polly's left arm high in the air. A very proud man must be Fred Swift, the captain of the Richmond side. He's been a great player for the Tigers over the years.
Yes, he has so.
Sir Kenneth Luke.
On your behalf, you would have me say to these two great teams, congratulations for a marvellous game, and I have very much pleasure in making the presentation to Mr. Swift, the captain of the Richmond club.
Well, as Jack Dyer said last night, if we lose, we'll be drinking Yarrow water. If we win, we'll be drinking champagne.
I'm very thankful for Jack. He's been a patient man and a great man even at Richmond these days, although not directly concerned with the club. But he must be a very happy man today, Ken.
Let's give you the final score once again. Richmond, 16 goals, 18 behinds, 114 points. Geelong, 15 goals, 15 behinds, 105 points. Richmond, a 9-point victory as they take the cup, the Premiership Cup, around the ground.
And there's Freddie Swift, a very proud captain of the Richmond side, leading his team around the ground to the applause not only of the Richmond supporters, but I feel sure also of the Geelong followers.